Yeah. So, because last time, also I'm a little bit, how would you say? My voice is a little weak because I was hogging off yesterday too much. No, that's not what happened. But, um, yeah, we are in the Saint Caledon, a large ship which has been legally obtained by us last time. And we only lost 5 Marines for it, because I still don't know why. Maybe my calculations were off or not. But that doesn't matter, because we are not that poor or that stingy with our Marines. But I want to make an announcement before we get into the game. There's another announcement I need to make, and that is for next week. Right? Next week. Because if we look at our favorite website here called Spaceflight Now, everybody's favorite website, because we love space here, right? Everybody loves space. We are going to see upcoming launches, because we're all space nuts, we know this. And if we look ahead on, well, October 22 is actually already over, but I think this has been delayed. Space, yeah, indeed, space. Who would think this channel has any kind of space? But if we look ahead exactly 1 week, then on October 31st, there will be the USSF 44, that is the United States Space Force mission, and it will launch on a Falcon Heavy. And Falcon Heavy launches are very cool. So my plan is, if everything goes according to these dates, and if this is confirmed, because you know launches can just slip and they can be rescheduled and stuff like that, so that can happen. But if everything goes according to plan, we could have another launch next week, and I think 13:44 GMT should be during my streaming time. I have some commitments on Monday where I need to go to Saitama, but I think we can make it. We can potentially have another launch. So, announcement, can we board it? Well, we can try next week. We can see and try if somebody can board it, but I would assume that the United States Space Force will eagerly guard that and will not just let us enter it. All right, with that out of the way, and I'm actually really looking forward to it. And like the only other few people that I know that are even like casually interested in this, which are like Max and so, they always complain like, just tell me if there's a Falcon Heavy launch. I don't care for any other launches. Yeah, so, speaking of Marines, we should take a good look at our Marines, because we have once again 21 of them here. And I would like to look at the game over.
Specifically designed for boarding and capturing.
And I want to look at our fighting ranks now. So we have 43, 89, 62. So what is the lowest fighting rank we have? I think 40 something is the lowest. Oh, okay, 36 is the lowest fighting rank we have here. What can we board with 36 fighting rank is the question. So, in principle, we should completely be fine boarding an M7 with 36 fighting rank. Now, last time somehow we lost 5 Marines. I don't know why or how. And it's really confusing, because this makes me worry that the numbers that I have in my chart are incorrect. But this should imply that if we are just quick about it and we find the right target, if we, should be 30 plus. Is that how much we need? Well, can you calculate that number for me, Gnaffel? But yeah, then we should be able to steal a missile frigate. Now, we don't have a target for a missile frigate yet. Our original target for a missile frigate was the what was it called? It was a split ship, not a Python. It was the Cobra, the split Cobra. However, it seems really difficult to find a Cobra anywhere in the universe. There don't seem to be many of them. Oh no, and Rhombi is still... Oh, Rhombi is still suffering. Yeah, that's the other problem.
And control, commodity exchange, and central docking ports of a large factory.
There's a plus minus 10% on the total resist. Yeah, 27. Yeah, that is the number that the guide gives. That we should only need a fighting rank of 27. But you saw it. We lost 5 Marines last time. Not very nice. But I said the first thing we'd do today would be finally fix Rhombi. But about that, we are a bit... Oh no! Okay, these guys are still mining. I should empty out the miners. Oh no, actually, I must have recently emptied out the miners. Oh, we'll do it again. We'll do it again because I don't like doing this. Well, I'd rather do this than have to start them all again. How weird! How many different amounts they have. Oh, hi Mark. Hi Mark. Hi Mark. Hi Avenue. Well, who's Mark? It's a Narco Rifle Mule Lift Blitz. I don't think there's a Mark. Or did we call anyone a Mark here? Nope. Not even one of our miners is called Mark, so... Yeah, whoever you're seeing, Avenue, I hope they're doing well. I hope they're doing well. Alright, we could equip some weapons on this ship, which we haven't done yet. We could potentially look to increase the throughput on this station. So, first of all, I want to fix Rhombi. What do we need to fix Rhombi? Rhombi needs a lot more energy cells. A lot more energy cells. What do we need to get energy cells? We need to build a solar power plant. What is the cheapest solar power plant we can buy? It is, of course, the boron solar power plant, because for some reason boron stations cost less in this game. When we look at a solar power plant XL here, this costs 17.6 million. How many solar power plants will we need, you ask me? Well, I tell you. If we look at Rhombi and we go to orders and we go to administration and we look at the complex settings, we can see that we are using 2163.528 energy cells per whatever. I don't know per what that is. I still haven't figured out what this rate here is, but hey, 2000. I believe it is per minute, to be fair. I believe this is the number of things we use per minute. So over 2000 energy cells per minute. Now if we look, we have one example. We have the Profit Station, which does have a solar power plant, which produces roughly, well, a little bit more than 1000 energy cells per minute, right?
Solar power plants.
And so it's 5530 every 4 minutes. So that should be around 1300 and something, 370 or something like that, energy cells per minute. So let's actually check when we go into the commands console here and look at administration, complex settings. What do you... Oh, actually crystal production is not quite right, but hey. How many energy cells do you produce? Am I blind? Yeah. Okay, it is 1175. I can't do math. Is this 5,500 divided by 4? No, actually not. Oh no, the production. Sorry, I can't read. 1,388. Yeah, that is the production. Okay, what does this tell us? This tells us we need... Well, actually, this isn't so bad. This would imply that for Rhombi,
A complex hub controls
we could
power
feed about
distribution,
half of the
central
resources
command
needed.
and control, commodity exchange, and central docking ports of a large factory production facility.
This implies we could do about half using only a single solar power plant. And maybe supplying half is enough. Maybe supplying half of it is enough. Okay, yeah. We're gonna put in one solar power plant. Now the real reason why I don't want to do this is that all the owned ships should go home for that. So navigation, return
Command
home.
accepted.
We're just gonna send
Command accepted.
everyone
Command
home.
accepted. Command accepted.
Also, we're being
Command
attacked.
accepted.
Let's ignore that
Command
fact.
accepted. Command accepted. Command accepted. Command accepted. Command accepted. Command.
I know you all love this sound. What? Oh, you can't. Why can't you return home? Oh, you're already home.
Command accepted. Command accepted.
Why are you idling? Don't idle in space. Actually, yeah, you might idle in space.
Command accepted. 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 Command accepted.
Yeah, there's no broadcast to all owned ships, I think. Not in, at least not in the base game. I'm sure there are mods. I'm sure there are mods, but... Oh, the Bolt Joker. You know, the Bolt Joker's already landed, so Bolt Joker can stay landed. Alright. Next, I need to get some money. I also need to get into a better ship. Well, actually, I don't need to be in a better ship. This ship isn't terrible. I mean, we currently have no weapons, but... do we have energy cells? We don't have an overwhelming amount of energy cells, and we still need more energy shields.
The Panther is the result of a failed bid by the Family Y shipyard to win the contract.
Where can we get another energy shield? Where would we have some 1 gigajoule shields?
Argon Space Equipment Docks.
No, these guys are running 2 gigs.
Boron Space Equipment Docks.
Ah, Boron has some 1
Locations in
gigs.
the Boron.
Why not? Why not jump to Kingdom End? Huh? Why? Oh god, yeah, we're using 20 energy cells per jump. That is a lot. That is expensive jump drives. So the jump drives uses more energy cells per sector, depending on how large your ship is. And this ship is an M7. And starts raking in the cost. Also, great music.
Boron Equipment Dock.
Ooh, military outpost. Do you have some energy cells?
This military outpost.
You are completely out, but you have boarding pods. I should always buy boarding pods. Furthermore, we should check if we have some money we can raid from some stations. Yes, Rhombi. Rhombi will have to pay for his own expansion. We're not letting him off the hook here. We're not letting Rhombi off the hook.
Controls power distribution. Central command.
The question is,
Exchange and central docking ports of a large factory production facility.
do we go double energy cells or not? No, we don't, because if we go double energy cells, we don't need to buy any, which means we can't really use the AI economy to fuel us with like cheap energy cells. Because our own energy cells are always going to cost us a bit more. However, I believe there are some silicon mines around here. And these silicon mines, actually there are none here. But here there are some. So we might want to actually go into a silicon deficit. Right now our, damn crystal economy, yeah. Right now our station, if we look, is very well balanced on silicon here. 17,640 produced, 17,472 used. if we put some crystal mines here, we're gonna go into a negative rate, which means we will have to import silicon wafers. But this is not a problem, because we are surrounded by silicon mines. And these are running full, which means when they're running full, they're selling their stock at like the minimum price, which is like 230, 255. And the price can go much higher, it can go up to like, I want to say 800. 776, yeah. First of all, it's dock here. And that means if we manage to import them, we drastically increase our profit margin on the production of the energy cells. So, yeah, I bought the boarding pods here. Oh, I didn't. Ah, you don't have the gigajoule shield. It was the equipment dock. Where is it?
Boron equipment dock.
We're gonna find it. So first things first. Narco Waifu Mule Lift Legs. Actually, kind of low on energy cells. Do I have my man on the roof? Yeah, man on the roof. Just. Oh, what is up with this? Why are there no energy cells here? No energy cells here.
Docking granted. Command accepted.
Ah, that was the wrong target.
Docking granted. Command
Let's
accepted.
try the other energy solar power plant there. In the meantime, we're gonna have to use Narco Waifu Mule Lift Legs. I'm once again going to empty out these orbs, guys.
Transferred.
Even though this isn't a lot, I don't want to leave this empty. Now you might say, hey, won't this limit your place you have for the stations? It will, but we're gonna fix this. Jump and fly to station. We press double Q and we instantly jump to Queen's Retribution, which apparently has the best shipyard in the game, except if you're in a Hyperion Vanguard, because then you shouldn't dock there because it's terrible. Ohayo gozaimasu block, but it's really not Ohayo gozaimasu time over here. It is very much konbanwa time already. It is now 8:30 p.m. Also interesting, the Spookata and the Gnuffle are just chilling here. You know what? Jump. Oh no, actually, do we have energy cells on you? Oh, we have a decent amount. Jump to sector. I always want Shareholder's Fortune lockdown because there's always some nonsense over there, you know, Spookatai. Konbanwa, thank you, Lock the Bleak. If you could see me, which gladly you can't, you would see me bow before you. Do meetings ever use both if time zones differ? Do you use different greetings when time zones differ between... Like, do you say good morning and good night? I don't know, this doesn't seem like a Japan question, this just seems like a how do you deal with time zone differences in meetings question. Usually people say good morning and then they laugh, or they say good night, like, it's kind of funny. There isn't like a polite thing, it's still too new. No, Rhombi, no. Not in English.
A complex hub controls power distribution central.
Oh, by the way, in Sunday I was in Yokohama. It was great. There was like a meeting. I had a lot of fun. And I was in a great like building. It had like it was like in the conference center at the harbor side of the... I don't know, it was called the Pacifico or something.
The Kingdom of Boron bid you a peaceful welcome. We are greatly honored that you wish to come on board.
Connection to local
Alright,
trading network.
we're gonna buy the gigajoule
established.
shields. Oh, they're surprisingly cheap. 1 gigajoule shield is only going for 300k. I thought they were more expensive, but my memory must have been wrong. Regarding time zones, Japan used to actually have different time zones. Like, every place had their own time, basically. And then when they introduced the train, they standardized it, right? As you do.
A complex hub
And actually, they standardized the time more appropriate for Kyoto. Actually, in Tokyo, we should be 1 hour more off. So the sun rises way too early in the day. Like the sunset is early and the sunrise is like way too early, which is really not the direction that I like. I like it more like, I loved it in Mallorca, which is like the opposite problem. The time zone is off way too far in the east, and it's even worse for the rest of Spain. But hey,
A complex hub.
train math supersedes all. Yeah, train math. Well, it's not the math. Yeah, well, I guess math. Yeah, because they couldn't fit the schedules together because there were like these offsets that were just from. Like, you leave Kyoto, you travel for 5 hours, and you arrive 5 hours and 30 minutes later in Tokyo. And it's like, what? How does that work? And it was because of different local times. I hate early sun and early set because it means seeking pretend daylight or sun lamps. Yeah, I don't use sun lamps. I'm not that. I don't really care much about that. Anyway, what did I want to do? There was more I needed to do. Well, first of all, man on the roof needs to buy more. What is up with these energy cells? Okay, man on the roof, jump and fly to station. Where else are some energy cells around here? Well, I guess Aquilas has very cheap energy cells, but they are so far away. Oh, I always like Alatnas' energy cells.
Docking granted. Command accepted.
Right. So, that was that. Right, I wanted to tell the Spook Hut to just patrol. What? Oh, Family We and Showers Fortune. Yeah, sure.
Accepted.
Perfect. Just go back and forth between us. That's a perfect use of your time, Spook Hut. That is a perfect use of your time. Next. Game over is there. It's not important. Nikki is there.
A complex hub.
Alright, the chip Rhombi. Okay, you have some energy cells. Just hand them over.
Energy.
You have some ore. Yeah, that's stupid. Why did you bring some ore? You're already overflowing on the ore. Why would you bring more ore?
Or.
Good job. Also, why are there so many people?
The prototype replacement for the mule. It was almost.
Why are there so many? Split freight transporter, Argon freight transporter, Solati parcel service. What are they all doing on Rhombi? What are they all doing on Rhombi? Oh, I guess similar things are appearing in other stations. A boron mineral transporter and a parcel service. The John Furco trade transporter. Well, the Xenon Hub has nothing. What? Why are you guys not buying anything? You even have a jump drive. What's up with you? Yeah, you have ore. You have... What are you doing? Rhombi was lonely, probably. No. Oh no. Trade range 50. Okay. Jump drive settings. Use jump times, yes. 1000. Minimum jump times 1. Yeah, there's certain... Why are you...
Command accepted.
Why are they all CAG on standby? Oh no, actually multiple of the hub CLS are going. What? Fly to unknown sector? What are you doing? Are you smoking? Oh well. I'm not gonna... I shouldn't question this. Okay. Man on the roof, you're not yet where you need to be. Let's CETA this up.
The Mistral
Okay, finally you can take some energy cells.
Docking granted.
Please
Command
dock with that, because we need to reload our friend. Also, we're drifting out of the sector here. Ooh, I wanted to go through the south gate here, actually, because I want to check if the music is still... what the music is in 3 worlds. Also, do we have advanced satellites with us? We do not. Did we actually decide what weapons we want to put on this ship, by the way?
Panther is the result of a failed bid by the family-wide shipyard to win the contract to mass produce a new frigate class. With some modification to install hangar decks, it was eventually pressed into service as a light carrier instead.
What is a phased array laser cannon? That sounds pretty good. Incendiary bomb launchers were pretty bad, if my memory is right. IBLs. They were like slow. I think they're the big orangey shots. Right? They're big, slow orange shots. I think those are the IBLs. So on the left turrets and on the right turrets, we could put 2 phased array laser cannons each. That would be 4 weapons. Maybe we just put flags on the rest. That would mean we need 12 more flag artillery arrays. And then for the 6 front ones, I have no idea. Let's have a look at IBL stats. Alright, let's look at... Oh, first of all, let's look at the energy blah blah... No, what was the name? Basically the better iron shard railgun. Oh, we don't even know what they are? Oh, what? What kind of weapon is this? Did I ask this question before? Is this
the result of a
phased array laser cannon? I haven't even seen those. They're not even in Encyclopedia. Phased array laser cannon, yeah, don't exist. Ah, they're defined only. And IBLs are the M7's response to M2s, yeah. Okay, I guess we're gonna have to go all flak, because we have not found phased array laser cannons yet. And they might be plot gated, I think. I remember something like that, you saying like, or somebody hinting that they might be plot gated. I have no memory of this, but then again, I never finished all of the plots in the game, so... Especially not the final plot, because boy do you need a lot of other plots. Alright, drifting over there. Okay, we're gonna let men on the roof now go towards the shipyard. Once again, the Boron are showing off with their capital ships here.
Incoming message.
Oh, message. Ugh. She is not very good.
training.
I mean, that's a luxury that I can complain about people who have like an average of 50 by now. Only 2 of them could potentially exist in the entire game. Oh wow. Okay, that means PALCs are not just rare, they are ridiculously rare. Okay. Are we just gonna ramrod through this gate? Maybe. Also, we are going to freight exchange with the Nakova Fuel lift legs. We give you energy cells. Let's give you another 2,000 energy cells.
Energy cells.
And we take the ore.
Transferred.
Oh.
Energy cell ore transferred.
Okay.
Energy cells transferred. Energy cells transferred. Energy cells transferred.
Right, let's go into 3 worlds. Also, let's compare how big our ship is to the gate. So we're not that huge compared to the Thresher. The Thresher is just positively humongous. We are still a... It's still a fun size. Yeah, definitely this is no longer the original 3 Worlds music. That is a shame. I wonder if that's anywhere. In AP, at least they sometimes spawn on M7s. Long. Yeah, we're quite long, but I think the Thresher is still longer. I think even then the Thresher is longer. Alright, you. I want you to jump and fly to the station. I want you to go to our Xenon Hub. Because you're gonna deliver that ore. Meanwhile, we are setting up our first... okay, we are now raiding Rhombi. Rhombi, you need to pay for everything. What does Rhombi need to pay for us? Let me think. Wrong button. 2 crystal L-fabs as well. Okay. Well, let's start by picking up... $17.5 million from you.
Funds transfer.
17.5 million. We are going to buy a solar power plant XL.
Solar power plant. Ball.
And we need a complex construction kit.
Complex.
Actually, that's another 500,000 Rhombi, you know? That's another 500,000.
Funds
Alright, how much do we have? We have 15 million left. Okay, what else do we need to buy? We need to buy a Crystal Fab L. Oh, you only have Crystal Fabs M over here.
Crystal Fabs.
Oh, and it already cost 3 million. Right, this is gonna get expensive quickly. I hope Rhombi has the money. The Python isn't exactly much shorter than the Python. Makes sense. But I assume you mean the Python isn't shorter than the Thresher. Or vice versa or something. But yeah, the Thresher has these long spikes at the end that really just make it ridiculously long. Okay, this is a Crystal Fab M. Alright, I think we have to go to Deep Waters or whatever it's called. No, Depths of Silence.
Shipyards are the heart and...
Nope, that's not it either. Lucky's Planets. Maybe it's Lucky's Planets. Panther is much shorter than Python. Ah. Okay, yeah, see, so we are much shorter.
Shipyards are the heart and soul of modern society.
Nope, Lucky Planets also doesn't have a crystal. Oh, was that the thing? I was looking for crystal fabs last time as well. Well then, Ocean of Fantasy?
Shipyards are the heart and soul.
Aren't that all of the shipyards? Ocean of Fantasy, Queens, Deep Water, not Deep Water, Depths of Silence. And that's Great Reef. Oh, Great Reef has one.
Shipyards are the heart and soul of modern society. They are factories of gigantic proportions.
That is not a great shipyard.
Shipyards are the heart.
Okay, I'm gonna look at the encyclopedia, but I guess we don't have any then. Factories. No, that's not the one I want to look at. No, I guess I have to look at factories.
Crystal fabs produce many crystals that
No,
are
you say
used
Queen's
in the
Retribution.
manufacturing processes
And Kingdom
of
N.
particle.
But they are just selling M's. Am I blind?
Shipyards are the heart and soul of modern society.
No! Oh, Crystal Fab
They are
L is at the end of the list.
gigantic
It's of
proportions
course, a
built
Crystal
to
Fab M
manufacture all types of
is up
space
here, and
people
Crystal Fab
and
L is
even
down here.
goods.
Okay, 6 million. Ooh, Rhombi, that's gonna be expensive. I don't know if you have the money here. Rhombi, are you gonna have to take another credit from me? Are you gonna have to take another credit from me? Rhombi's just gonna go deeper into debt.
Shipyards are the heart and soul of modern society.
Yeah, there it is. Okay, we
They are
need
factories
another
of gigantic proportions, built to manufacture all types of space
13.5 million from you, Rhombi. You good? You're out of money! You're out of money! Okay, we're gonna take 13.5 from you.
Fun.
And we're gonna buy us some crystal fab.
Crystal fab bought.
Whoa, that crystal fab is huge! We're gonna buy another one.
Crystal fab
And then
bought.
we can't fit anything more. Alright, Nakoma from your lift. Let's jump to sector. Shows whatever it is. Shows defeat. Actually, I want to be more sure. Jump and fly to position. Did I predict that before? Maybe I did. Just fly generally.
Command accepted.
Right, next. Do we even have the money somewhere else? Well, we can siphon something from the shareholders' fortune. One question I also have, what's currently our capacity
A
for
complex hub controls
energy
power
cells?
distribution,
Goes up to
central com-
640,000, but if you compare it with the
A
profit
complex
station,
hub controls power distribution, central command, and control.
that is
Command-
450,000. That seems comparable considering... What's the size comparison between profits and Rhombi? Oh no, Rhombi has 53 stations, Profits only has 20, so actually Rhombi is a little bit undersized in the storage size of energy cells, and I think the reason for that is that Rhombi doesn't produce any energy cells. And I think the output storage is always a bit larger than the input storage. Don't quote me on that, but I always have the feeling that you can buffer more on the input than you can buffer on the... Actually, yeah, no, it's the opposite. I always feel like, no, it depends. It depends. On very expensive factories, you can definitely buffer more on the output than on the input. Like, you can have more rockets there than you can have the raw materials for rockets, for example. But on smaller ones, I don't actually know. I don't know how many cycles of energy cells you can store in like a cheap... or how many minutes, I should probably say. How many minutes worth of energy cells you can store. Anyway, I gave them enough time to jump in so that I don't accidentally crash into you. They're gonna
Jump
follow
device
you.
Charging at 10%.
And we're gonna have another puzzle session because we need to fit in those nice stations again into Rhombi. And those aren't even the last ones. We'll need even more.
Entering system. Chose defeat.
Actually, there are loads of our transporters who don't know what to do because they want to land, but they can't land.
Hyman, super freighter. Mercury, super freighter. XL, Mercury, super freighter. XL, Mercury, super freighter.
We definitely have a lot of
XL.
traders here. Also, look at how beautiful the Nakobai from your Liftlix is. A beautiful atmospheric lifter. It is such a weird ship though that it flies this direction, like forward. Puzzle session? No, not that kind of puzzle. Although that would be cool. But no, it's not a... Oh god, I can feel the lag. I don't know if you can feel or see the lag, but I can feel an input lag in this sector. Because of Rhombi. Rhombi is just too big. I think we shouldn't build any factories that are much larger than this. I'm worrying about the game performance just bottoming out. Alright, I guess we're gonna build more over here. It kinda looks like an abomination. I'm not gonna deny that. Alright, you aren't truly gaming until you've experienced 3 FPS. Yeah, I'm not sure we want to experience 3. Especially, I'm worrying more that the stream will go down to 3 FPS before the game goes down to 3 FPS. Or that my voice will turn into robot voice. That's probably the most likely thing, actually, using RTX voice. The first thing we're gonna notice is that my voice will become robot voice. You know, when we're playing Factorio and I'm generating a new world, like then, everybody always goes, oh no, you sound like a robot. And yeah, that's that part. Okay, special, drop a station. Yeah, this is gonna be a problem. Okay, we're gonna go do that later. Let's first drop the crystal labs. Now we're gonna put this here. Oh god, nothing here is really super aligned. There.
Command accepted.
Oh, why are you still flying around, my dude? Just chill. Oh, I should have saved before, but I think it was okay. Okay. But I should definitely not do this just raw, because it's no OTTD for sure. Did Jake start getting performance issues on OTTD? I don't remember him getting any issues. What do you mean?
Crystal fab.
Ah, you're a crystal fab. Very good.
Command accepted.
Oh, yeah. Well, but Factorio is also well optimized, so... well optimized doesn't protect you from bottoming out your performance. Okay, now comes the funny bit, where I need to put in solar power plant. And what better use of the solar power plant than to shield our virgin eyes from this abomination.
Crystal fab. L Alpha.
How much of this was written in assembly? I believe nothing of this was written in assembly, probably. Because this is really far beyond the writing games in assembly era. This is 2008, so... I don't think anything was written in assembly here. Okay, once again I'm going to save, because I don't have any 3D views here. I don't want to crash the game. On the anyway. One main problem will be getting crystals for the crystal fabs, because we might be running out of energy cells. Well, that's a problem for future me to figure out. Nakobai from your Liftlix Alright. This is gonna be the tough one. This... No. Oh, centered on this one. Ah, you're already doing the spinny thing. Oh, no, you're not. Good. Let's zoom in first. Let's put you here. Slightly above. Yes. And just somewhere here. Okay, that doesn't seem to be cutting it. Okay, no, actually, oh, that's... Okay, I think it is always rendered. Why is it always rendered behind the asteroid? That is supremely confusing. I don't exactly know how big this thing is, but I feel like this is a safe-ish distance. Let's try.
Accepted.
Maybe everything explodes, but oh boy, that was way closer than I thought. Oh boy, oh boy. Hello game? Okay, game decided I was being too close there. Are we collision free? Ouch, ouch. Well, we are, but I collided with the station. I should remember I'm not in a small ship. I just lost 2 gigajoules of shield there. That was the complex.
A complex hub.
Yeah, the
controls.
complex didn't even notice it.
Incoming message.
Oh, it's just some rando.
Solar power plant. X.
Okay, that's
Alpha.
a tight spacing on that solar power plant down there. Yeah, that isn't even higher than these towers around it. I think we literally just got lucky that it didn't clip anything. Well, yeah, sure. You know what? I'm gonna connect you up
You
because
are
I'm worried
talking?
about you. Ah, yeah, and we need to send you over. Drop station. Let's connect the washing
Incoming
machine
message.
with the solar power plant.
Command accepted.
Oh, I hope that worked. I hope that nothing bad happens here. Okay, apparently... Okay, I think it's fine. And look! The solar power plant is kind of shielding our eyes from a little bit of Rhombi's very ugly underneath. I think that almost looks good. I think that it's like that's an optical improvement. Visual, optical, photonically, whatever. It's energy cells made from space, light. So definitely photonic improvement. Alright, we're gonna go to you again.
Docking granted. Command accepted.
And yeah, we need more money.
Crystal.
You are talking to the automated
Crystal fabs produce many crystals that are used in the manufacturing processes of particle accelerators found in many laser factories. Crystals are produced from silicon wafers.
So, what did I want to see? Okay, no, I can't really see. I can't really see. Okay, I think we're just gonna speed run this. How much energy cells do I need? How much extra food will I need though? How much extra food will I need?
Crystal fabs produce.
But this one
many
eats
crystals
nostrop
that are
oil.
used-
And we only have 2 sunlight refineries on this entire
This
thing.
facility produces.
Anything else eating nostrop oil?
This factory.
No?
Silicon mine.
Okay, that means we need one L-sized food chain per crystal fab? Ooh, that is a lot. That is a lot. How's the nostrop oil here? Yeah, that is perfectly balanced. Okay, so that means I need 4 more stations here. I need 4 more stations. I need an L-sized Bofu chemical lab, an L-sized Bogas to produce the Bogas, right? And then that twice. And somebody loves twice. Okay. And I don't think we can get all of that in one flight. I think we'll have to space it out. So... and also the money. I need to rob the money from somewhere. So right now we are too poor. We only have... Oh no, we have 50 million in our account. Okay, we're gonna count this as Rhombi having even more debt. I don't know exactly how much debt Rhombi had. I didn't calculate it fully, but we're gonna count this as debt for Rhombi. So... I definitely want the complex
construction
that.
kit bought.
Bo L.
Biogas factory bought.
And Bofu L.
Bofu chemical lab.
I'm gonna go for the complex.
Complex construction
And
kit
another
bought.
one.
Complex construction kit bought.
And then we're gonna go for another Bofu L. Actually, it doesn't make sense to go Bofu. Well, it doesn't matter.
Bofu chemical lab bought.
So now you have 5 complex construction kits, 1 Bogas, 2 Bofu. Yep. It is so nice that you have so much capacity here that I don't really need to worry too much about it. I'm gonna put you down there.
Command accepted.
I should get a bit more into position to build more factories over here. Although I'm starting to assume that the game will just kick me out after every build now. Let's see, we'll see. Drop station. Let's first build the other ones. That is a terrible listing, and I pressed that wrong. One day I will rebind the fact that delete just closes that menu when you have to press like insert home, end up, and page down. Page up and down the entire time in that part of the building process. Why would you come on, why would you focus on that? I don't know why does it focus on that? Hold on. Okay,
Command accepted.
dropping you there. Beautiful, beautiful space city here. I'm gonna pretend that I like it. I think it's... life is more fun if you pretend to like it. Also, oh god, everybody's just trying to dock and trying to undock because we do not have the space in the docking. And you can't really make larger docks in this game. So this is one limitation of a huge complex. Like, at some point you become input-output limited, but I don't think we're anywhere near that point. Especially out of sector. When you're out of sector, the docking and undocking is very quick. I don't even know if there's a limit how many can dock when you're out of sector. If they're like... if there's like secret internal docks. This was once again terrible. terrible. Where the hell are we? Ooh, that seems rather tight. Why does this seem so tight? Well,
Command accepted.
I'm sure somebody attempted to do something like this in 2008 and it just blew up in their face. But luckily we no longer live in that time. Or unluckily, I don't know, maybe you have a lot of nostalgia for 2008. I certainly have a certain level of nostalgia for it. Mostly because I was younger. Right, well now we connect them all up with... Shit. Alright. Washing machine to... Oh, this one
Command
first.
accepted.
This might once again push us away. No, it didn't actually. This one was fine. This one didn't just warp us away.
Command accepted. Command accepted.
Oh god, does somebody remember what I had to buy still? Was it Bofu or Bogas? Which one did I have two of? Well, considering I still have two Bofu, that means I need another Bogas.
Chemical lab.
You are...
That was easy.
You are
That was easy to figure out.
Command accepted.
I swear, someday we'll be finished with Rhombi. But this is not the day.
Command accepted.
Also, if I was streaming 8 hours a day, this wouldn't feel so slow. But we don't all have that privilege. Alright, nice. So, we only need one more Bogas. Paladin get us one more load of
Docking
Bogas.
granted. Command accepted.
Well, I have to check my money. So, we already spent like another 6 million here. Means Rhombi will have to pay us back another 6 million. Also, yep, the man on the roof should unload that ore.
Ore transferred. Ore
So
is
another-
the most common.
Oh, we still have Teladiano on the man on the roof?
Taylor.
It's kind of a waste, but hey. Also, we're halfway through the ore. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Alright, let's watch the Narco Rifle dock. And... where are you going? Space unknown sector. Oh, you're in the Xenon hub. Okay. Makes sense. Your left legs should buy us Complex construction kit.
Complex construction
And
kit.
one more biogas.
Biogas.
You go somewhere near the gate.
Command accepted.
And now our money is another million gun, basically. So 7 million is what we spend on fixing Rhombi here. How much these miners? Oh, these miners are getting a little bit fuller now. And I should also look at the game over. Like, Chris Polar is obviously not fit for combat. Oh, and there's another one who's sneaked in here. Probably Irene Springer. Or Harte Insta. Oh no, Harte Insta is pretty good. Now we're gonna send in Irene for another engineering.
Training.
Harte Insta has 89 fighting rank. We don't want to miss out on that. We need to train up our marines if we eventually want to board that tour for Chosrau. But yeah. Alright, now go out from your lift legs. Okay. Rob our biogas factory. I don't know why would you pick that one? Why pick the south gate?
Biogas factory.
Yeah, I know it's a biogas factory. Thank you for reminding me.
Command accepted.
Oh, that's a little bit high, isn't it? Oh god, imagine you make like a huge spiral. Oh god. That's a terrifying and intimidating idea.
Command accepted.
Okay, after this we will set up Rhombi again, but I'm not gonna do it from within this. Ah, god damn it. Somebody just exploded. So, first thing first, we're gonna jump out of the sector.
Charging at 10%.
Because I don't want people to explode, right? I don't want any of my valuable ships to
Entering
explode.
system.
No,
Patriarchs.
we just
key.
get out of there. Now we're out of sector. Now collision does no longer exist. Now we can, in good order, look at the administration, and we should hopefully see that we're not running a deficit on Bogas and Bofu. Oh god, the Bofu consumption is almost per. Look at that Bofu consumption. We're off by 224 on a budget of 100,000. That's pretty good. We have a pretty sizable silicon wafer deficit, but not insurmountable. And we're supplying. Ooh, our energy cell hunger actually went up quite a bit. It went up by like 400. Does somebody remember the old number? Was it 2,200 or 2,300? But like several hundreds. It went up by several hundreds. And we'll need 6 wafers per minute. Because, wait, actually, this is not 100,000. This is 100, I think. I want to say this comma is a dot. Sorry, so this is 100. Yeah, 100,000 Bofu is a little bit ridiculous per minute. That is not the number that is meant there. So let's look through our messages. Marine. Oh, this is our message log. Who got killed there? Your ship, CLS Mercury Super Freighter XL6, was destroyed in Sector Xenon Sector 347 by a Xenon Q. Are you smoking, CLS Mercury Super Freighter XL6? And then there's a personal log entry just called CLS Mercury Super Freighter XL6. Okay. But look at this last message up top. Your ship Rhombi Kaiman Super Freighter EC Buyer 1 was destroyed by Rhombi's washing machine. So he just literally just crashed into it. Great. What a great guy. Anyway, we are going to need to set up the settings again. Mosquito missiles, I want to sell them, so price down. Price down. Price down, I guess. Price down. Price down. Price down.
Specify at which price the freighters working for this
I guess with average sunrise flowers. This can be average. Energy cells should be a little bit higher because we want to buy it. We also want to buy silicon wafers. Nostrop oil, I don't care actually. Crystals.
Specify at which price the freighters working for this factory should buy resources.
I want to sell any.
New price selected. New price selected.
Now we shouldn't run out of crystals. If anything, we should have a little bit of a buffer, so we're gonna increase the price a bit.
New price selected.
Bogas, yeah, can be average. Or no, we want to buy, but we don't want to buy very. We don't want to buy for much. And your Rhombi, you're gonna get. How much did you owe me? How much did I say? Oh, we're gonna give you another 3 million. Because I think that's another 10 million.
Funds transferred.
Yeah, now you owe me another 10 million. No, don't ask me how much. Oh, so we said Rhombi owes us 100 million before. Let's say Rhombi owes us 110 million now. Let's just say Rhombi owes us 110 million. Alright. Now to the fun part. Oh god, you have Bogas. Oh god, no, okay. Let's go through this. You're the chip Rhombi. You're still working, that's good. You're still working, even though you aren't actually selling the hammer heavy torpedoes. You have a lot of Nostrop oil. I don't know why.
Nostrop.
But, just go. Okay, let's look at the wear list. Yeah, don't trade the microchips. Good. Trader. What about... And you have blacklist sectors, everything looks fine, yeah. Let's go.
Command accepted.
You are also empty? Oh, just go.
Command accepted.
Empty, okay. Oh, this guy didn't even tell to be empty. Oh well. Okay, you're a supplier. I think I need to change the suppliers. But you're just a shopper. I think that's fine, actually.
Command accepted.
Oh, yeah, you need to give us the energy cells. Oh. God damn it! Who had the energy cells? Give us the energy cells.
Energy.
Hey, you...
Command accepted.
Get out of here. So the problem is there can only be a certain number of ships docked, and all the advanced scripts forget their stuff when you extend a station, which is the worst part about the script thing. So that's one reason why I tried not to extend Rhombi, but in the end I was forced to. And so now everybody's trying to land here.
Command accepted.
Once there's a spot.
Command accepted.
Number 9.
Command accepted.
Okay. You just buy energy cells.
Command accepted.
You have bow gas. I don't know what you're flying around with bow gas with.
Boga. Command accepted. Command accepted.
Alright. Buy more energy cells.
Command accepted. Command accepted.
Oh, the bold Joker. No, wait. You were a external commodity logistics? Yeah.
Command accepted.
Right, and also importantly, Narco have mule lift legs, jump and fly to position. Perdition's End? Eternal Perdition? Perpetual Sin. Well, it was nothing like Perdition's End, but it started with the P, so it was fine.
Accepted.
I eventually found the sector. Right, more landed ships. So I'm looking, actually, always going through this list here, and I'm looking for people up top, where on the top right you can see this, well, it says ID, pilot status, blah blah blah. And actually pilot tells us what rank they are. They're like trader, major trader, whatever. And this somehow influences how good the script is, because the script has like ranks. Doesn't matter. The thing I'm looking at is the command one, and if they have none, those are some that have like been reset. And I need to make sure their cargo bay is empty before I restart the scripts, because
accepted.
they are too stupid to notice that their cargo bay is full. And so, for example, if I start them with 10,000 energy cells in their cargo bay, they are never going to get rid of them. They're just going to ferry them back and forth on every trade.
Command accepted.
Just give them a free ride. Oh, we have quite a lot of people with energy cells still. That is quite good.
Command accepted.
Actually, I'm gonna change you.
Mercury.
I'm gonna change you to Rhombi. DC buyer 1. Because that one died. And I'm gonna just tell you, buy where for best price energy
Command
cells.
accepted.
Even though it's primitive, I'm fine with having some primitive seed.
Command accepted.
Okay, it seems that almost everybody has something. So let's look at Rhombi owned ships, and then we can see if somebody's still on like nonsense rules here. Okay, I know it seems like everybody has something to do again. I don't know what's wrong with Rhombi. Rhombi is Rhombi's out of
commodity exchange.
Oh yeah, no, energy cells actually went up by 200,000 storage.
Production facility.
That's pretty good. But Rhombi is now waiting on crystals, which aren't done yet. Once the crystals are done, the energy cells will produce a little bit. And hopefully that'll... But as we saw, we're only producing about half the energy cells that we need. Because I want to still import energy cells. I still want to buy some so that I can profit off of the AI economy. That I can buy them on cheap. But this extension solved another problem, mainly I didn't like the fact that we were not importing silicon wafers. I actually wanted to be importing a bit of silicon wafers. And so I'm very happy about the slight deficit that we have now. I'm actually quite happy about that. Okay, this slight crystal deficit, not so good. But that always happens. I assume our traders will eventually fix that. We have about a half the energy cell as a deficit. A little bit less than half. And we have 6 wafers per minute. So that is 60 wafers every 10 minutes. So that is 360 wafers per hour. I don't know, that might be a little... I don't know if they run out of silicon, but we have a silicon buffer, so for now it shouldn't be a problem. Good! Good.
A complex hub controls power distribution,
most of it is
central
running right
command
now.
and control, commodity exchange, and central docking ports of a large factory.
And in 1 minute we'll have the
facility.
first load of crystals. Yeah, not selling our PPCs right now though, and I don't really have a use for them. Quantum tubes, on the other hand, they're still selling like hotcake. Quantum tubes are just too popular.
A complex hub controls
And computer
power
components
distribution,
also, luckily as well,
central
very
command,
very solid selling of the computer components. We're like a computer giant here in this universe. We're probably producing most of the computer components of the universe by now. Nah.
Commodity exchange and
But we have 15 computer plants. I wonder how many there even are. So if we look at wares, tech, computer components.
components are important resources for the production of
There are more than
modern
15.
technology. From
There are more than
spaceships
15
to
here.
gigantic spaceships,
Also, sorry, that was my
everything
emails.
is
This complex is getting ridiculous. I actually love it.
A
I
complex
actually love
hub
it.
controls power
So let's see.
distribution,
Look at this
central
here.
command
40
and
crystals
control,
and 0
commodity
crystals.
exchange, and central docking ports
These
of a
crystals have
large
now been
factory
eaten by the
production
solar power plant.
facility.
And the solar power plant started producing. Ah, that is nice. How much energy does the solar power plant actually produce? Connect stations, solar power plant XL.
Solar power plants produce energy. They are found everywhere in the known
5,500.
universe and are operated and controlled by
Ah yeah,
other
5,500 per
races.
cycle. That is actually a very needed infusion, but we still need more. We need traders. We still need some traders to come in. Oh god, look at all of these traders just going out. So Rhombi, what are you people doing? If I look at owned ship...
A
Rhombi's
complex
already running out of
hub
something.
controls power distribution, central
Oh,
command,
you're complaining that you don't
and
have
control,
crystals, but
commodity exchange, and central
that
docking
won't really
ports
matter.
of a large factory production facility.
Yeah, we're full on ore. Pretty full on nostrop oil. Silicon wafers were actually not that full, but I think that's also because our storage increased. Okay, your own ships. Oh, you have no command. Oh, you have 2 PPCs. Whew. You have 2 PPCs. Don't just fly around with 2 PPCs. That's like 2 million worth of money.
Pulse cannon.
If you want to go sell them, but don't just go around not doing anything with them.
Command accepted.
Buy energy cells, buy energy cells. Why are you buying fighter drones? I guess for yourself. Buy energy cells with... Okay, people are going out to buy energy cells and crystals actually. And energy cells, that's good. That's good. I hope they go and get more energy cells. Oh, actually, did you go get some energy cells? And you? Oh, you did go get some energy
The
cells.
prototype replacement for the... A complex hub
And we are already running out of energy cells again.
Central command and control.
It's not enough. Let's see if this stabilizes now. We'll look at it in like a couple of hours in-game. How can I be the wrong ship? Well, because you're not a missile frigate, Kaladin. You're not a missile frigate. I ended up bordering you, but... Yeah, you're a mini carrier. You're a light carrier. You're not a missile frigate. I mean, it wasn't really an accident, but it was also kind of not what I set out to do last time. It's still funny. I still like it. Alright, I'm gonna jump... But that's a good point. We might look at a missile frigate this time. So, let's look if we can find that Cobra. There is the Cobra. This Cobra is next to a Raptor. I actually need a better ship, so I'll switch into Gnuffle now. Even though it's fun, flying around in Kaladin. It is not very convenient to fly around in Kaladin. So we are going to jump in with Gnuffle.
Command accepted.
I'm doing the best I can, being the best me I can be. Or being the best I can be. The best I can be. Aye, Captain.
Incoming message.
I endorse you becoming Gnuffle. Actually, Gnuffle doesn't stream, so you shouldn't. You shouldn't. That would be the end of the stream. Oh, by the way, Kaladin, tell us about... Because you're the expert. Tell us about Wiki 3 release. When is it? When can we watch it? When does it start? I have no idea. Please enlighten me. Victoria 3.
Training.
Good luck with that. I wouldn't want to be Gnuffle, says Gnuffle. Tomorrow at noon EST. How many hours from now is that? Isn't that about like... Isn't that still like 24 hours away? More than a day? 27.5. Wow, okay. Ooh, that's late. Let me check my schedule. Is there going to be a Kaladin release countdown stream? Yeah, in Japan, that would be 1 AM, I guess. If Kaladin's right. Because in 3.5 hours, it's 1 AM. Oh, your internet isn't fixed. Well, but maybe we'll have like an X3 stream and then there'll be somebody setting up their Victoria 3 release. They're fixing it this morning. This morning is a weird thing to be saying to me when it's already night. We're not. Okay.
A complex hub.
Okay, we got a load of
Central
energy cells here.
command and control.
So things are still running.
Commodity exchange.
So things
and
could be
central
worse.
Docking ports of a large factory production facility.
I also used to live in the future. It sucks for releases. Alright, yeah, you lived in China.
Hyperion Vanguard. Command accepted.
Actually, were games cheaper in China? Or could you even get games? Like, could you even get Hearts of Iron? Yeah, right. They have like special versions for.
Panther.
No, didn't they get into trouble with China for Hearts of Iron recently or something? Half price. Ooh. Not too shabby. Alright, where's that Cobra? I think that Cobra's there.
Charging at 10%.
Hearts of Iron was just straight up unavailable. I see.
Entering system.
But
Roncar's
EU4?
Split small orbital weapons platform. Split military Cobra.
Until they made Young Mao. Then suddenly it was available. Ha! Wasn't EU4 banned because of Tibet? I didn't know that. Oh no, we're running out of energy cells here. No, we have energy cells.
Command and control, commodity exchange.
So we still have downtimes. So the thing we really need to see is...
Production facility.
We really need to see some energy cell buffer building up. If we see this, then things are running well. But if we don't see any buffer, then things are not running well. Simple as. Simple as. Also, Chinese Steam doesn't exist. Most games are fine unless they specifically banned them. Okay. You use the international version, Steam censors itself. Yep. Isn't that beautiful, Steam censoring itself? Okay, here we have a Cobra. Actually, I think Kaladin is more beautiful than a Cobra.
The Cobra missile frigate is an awe-inspiring and potent warship, providing any fleet with an outstanding heavy strike capability.
Now sadly this sector has a Raptor and orbital weapons platforms. So not exactly what you want to poke.
Military outpost.
Hope you brought a lot of mosquito. Oh god, I hadn't even considered that. Oh, it's gonna start shooting flail barrages at us and stuff. Well, first I need to get my police license back. Because I gotta be policeman so that I can scan it legally.
Successfully docked.
All hail the family Ronkar. The Split Dynasty honors your presence on board.
Connection to local.
Right, for a mere 8,000 credits, even you can be a policeman. The good news at least is that boarding should be extremely easy. Yeah, because they shouldn't have any counter fire. And they shouldn't have many weapons.
Split military Cobra.
But it might just shoot us down with flail barrage missiles. I don't know what a stock it has. They probably have a lot of Marines. Really? You think so? Do we have a bioscanner? We do. So we should be able to see the Marines. And the last ship we went on didn't have any Marines and it's still like packed. I don't like the fact that it's flying in a wing though. Look, it has like several ships that are protecting it. Ooh, are you also Cobra? No, that's a Tiger.
Split military Tiger. Split military Cobra.
Alright, let's scan it. Yeah, no Marines aboard. It has advanced firewall software. I don't think that's gonna matter too much. It only has 2 gigajoule shields. It has 40 flail barrages, 35 hammers, and 6 weapons. How much weapon slots can it have?
The Cobra missile frigate is an awe-inspiring and
So
potent warship,
it'll probably be hot
providing
swapping
any
again.
fleet with an outstanding heavy strike capability.
The bigger problem is I don't think we can sit through 41 flail barrages and 35 hammers, because the hammer torpedoes are just gonna flatten us. Oh yeah, and it does have a jump drive. But no, AI doesn't jump away. AI usually doesn't jump away. I've never seen an AI just jump out. Unless they get like super low hull, but we're not gonna get a low hull. So it should just be fine. Alright, before I forget it, get the ore.
Ore transferred. 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 Ore transferred.
Hey? You are still at the Xenon hub?
Split
Game over. Over. Can you buy a boarding pod? No, there's no boarding pods right now. I wish boarding pods would spawn more often here. We still have 11 though. 11 are enough boarding pods. Alright, let's follow this Cobra and see which system it goes through. Maybe it's just sitting around in this system. Maybe it sometimes goes to the neighboring system. Let's also watch Rhombi. Rhombi is still running out of energy cells. It's not good. I don't like that. That worst case scenario that implies is that I have to build another set of big solar power plants there.
Incoming message.
Render Selden.
Training. Split military Cobra.
Alright, Mr. Cobra, what are you gonna do? What are you doing? Are you trying to dock? Oh, look, the Cobra is flying with the tiger. Was it? Oh, that guy jumped away. Okay. Okay, the Cobra evidently has troubles with the military station. I know, pathfinding is hard. Man, there are 3. Some of them are like even docking? I don't know what. Like there's multiple cap ships around here, so I really don't want to engage this thing in this sector if at all possible. If at all possible, I don't want to engage this here. But I don't know if it ever leaves the sector. Maybe this is the only Cobra. What are you doing?
No aim.
It's actually docking? Well, that is rude. I can't even take it over if it's docked.
A complex hub control.
Even docking? Oh wow, even an Argon military Cerberus is now in this mosh pit. Of pyramid ships. Oh, hello Ninjin, how are you? How are you? I'm gonna have another look around. Maybe we can find another Cobra somewhere. At least Ninja knows the time of day and says good evening and doesn't say like good morning or something crazy like that. Oh, another panther.
The panther is the result of a failed...
Alpha at Alpha. Ohio Alpha? Ohio. Ohio, yeah. Ohio. And for those that can't decipher the chat, Caledon wrote it O-H-I-O, Ohio. Had a good day at the shrine and then reasonable at work. Will likely try, although also fail, for a promotion this year. I've also played with Super Resolution over the weekend and it is good. Super Resolution? Super Resolution is a big word. You should talk to Dr. Nitram. Huh? Good old Nitro. Because he's working on Super Resolution microscopy or something. I think. I remember something like that. But Nitro is such a nerd. Do not talk with Nitro. Okay. Okay, now we're just being rude, okay? Okay? Now we're just being rude.
A complex hub controls power distribution, central command and control, commodity exchange, and central docking ports of a large factory production facility.
Oh, I don't know if the production is stable there on the Rhombi. It doesn't really feel stable, but hell, we'll see. We'll see. Somebody just jumped away somewhere. They have a lot of panthers, actually. There's another panther over here. I think they have more panthers than cobras. Which is a weird thing. I scaled up 480p VGA all the way to 1440p without really any artifacts. It was stunning and not expected that GANs are this good now. I mean, it depends on the subject. Like, what was your set? Just like video? Like, mostly faces? Anime. Oh. But isn't anime easier? I would almost expect that anime is one of the easiest things to scale up. Although... yeah. Did you use it on... but you used it on static images, right? Because the real deal is doing it on... video. No, video. Oh, but was it consistent? Or what, did you scale up each frame individually? Because then you can get like flickering issues. So you must somehow prime the upscaling of the successive step with the previous one or something like that. Because otherwise you will not get a consistent upscaling. Because in one turn it might upscale something slightly different than from the other time. So, for example, hair. It has to somehow upscale the hair. And it might completely rearrange the strands between two frames, which is not natural because the hair will just, if you watch it as a video, the hair will just look like it's flying all over the place. Also, flicking or flying all over the place, there doesn't seem to be any other Cobra. I think we have the only Cobra in existence
Military
here.
outpost.
Which might mean I just can't target it. Also, are you still landed there? The Cobra is even like being a coward and landed. Yes, it takes the successive frames into consideration. I have not read the paper properly. Oh, so you're just using somebody else's GitHub code. And here I thought I should be impressed. I thought I should be impressed.
A complex hub.
Just a
controls
downloader.
power distribution, central
All he
command
knows is how to
and
download.
control, commodity exchange, and central docking ports of a large factory
Alright, see, that
facility.
a lot of stuff ran out of juice already. Luckily the energy cells didn't, and we have some crystals backed up. But this isn't good. This isn't good. It is a bit more involved than that, but no, I do not have a cluster to use for freaking Weebery. Are you the Cobra? No, you're not the Cobra, you're the Tiger.
Split military tiger.
You're the Cobra. No, you're also a Tiger.
Military tiger.
Oh, the Tiger looks way cooler than a Cobra, I think. I think the Tiger looks really cool. I wouldn't mind having a Tiger.
The Tiger frigate is a brand new split design. It is a fearsome vessel designed for only one purpose, the waging of war.
She says that so judgingly. The waging of war. No, you're not a tiger, Callan. You're a panther. I also like the panther, but I think I like the tiger more. The tiger just looks even more aggressive. It has like even more spiky things. Like especially towards the rear. Like I like the tiger. I really like how the tiger looks. I enjoy playing around with tech, and I'm sure this will be useful at some point. Yeah, well, playing around, always useful. Speaking of playing around, Ninjin, if you're still here, at the beginning of the stream I already revealed that I will be traveling to Saitama next Monday. Oh ho ho! Because I have a meeting there.
System, Thorox Pride.
Alright, what do we do then? Do we switch our target? Let's reconsider our main fleet. Why the heck would you go to Saitama? Riken? No, I'm not going to Riken. I'm going to Saitama University. I don't actually know where Riken is in Saitama. Like, I actually don't know anything about Saitama. I don't know anything about Saitama. I know a little bit, but I have no orientation. I know where the university is, and that's about it. I know where Omiya Station is. I know where... No, I don't even know which station I have to get off, because I need to get off somewhere and take a bus to get to the university. Riken is just across the border from Tokyo. Saitama is backwater as all hell. Really? But it's only like 40 minutes to get into Tokyo, so... That's hardly backwater. I don't know, you have very high standards for not being backwater then. People live, sleep here. I wouldn't know why. I wouldn't know why that would qualify it as backwater. Backwater for me means to me that not only is there nothing, but also you cannot reach anywhere with something. Just because Saitama is, but it's not backwater. It's just a suburb. Even though that name doesn't really fit because people think about American suburbs. But you can easily get to places. Like, sitting in a train for 40 minutes to reach Shinjuku or Shibuya, that's not being backwater. That's being connected to the heart of Tokyo. No, it's not semantics though. Like, I mean it emotionally. Like, when I'm in Saitama, I do not feel like, oh, I'm in backwaters. Like, I do not feel anything about being outside of Tokyo. I just feel like I'm still inside Tokyo, honestly. But I live outside the Yamanote line, Ninjin.
Incoming message.
I live outside the Yamanote line as well. So I basically live in, you basically live in Osaka.
Training.
Okay. Oh, you are very strict. Very strict indeed.
A complex hub controls power distribution, central command and control, commodity exchange, and central docking ports of a large factory production facility.
One problem I'm seeing also is the hammer heavy torpedoes are overflowing. Ugh. Yeah, but Ninja, this is quite rude, you know? To everyone living outside the Yamanote line. But as I said, I don't feel like I'm in the backwaters when I'm in Tokyo. When I'm in Saitama, I still feel like that is very much Tokyo. I feel no urge to live inside the Yamanote line. I would like to live way further out, actually. I would like to live in a place that is actually backwater. That is actually not full of people. Because backwater to me implies kind of tranquil, whereas Saitama is just, it's just still masses of people. It's just that there isn't an entertainment district that's as big as Shinjuku. Oh, that's not backwater, it's not Shinjuku. Or Shibuya, I should rather say. Shinjuku isn't really entertaining.
Light shield.
Production complex. Alpha. Incoming message.
Alright, my marine is finished. It's Huritis again. Oh no, Huritis is getting dangerously close to being useful. I only know Shinjuku from Code Geass. It was a ghetto. Well, Shinjuku is kind of the government and business district. I don't actually want to call it the Wall Street of Tokyo, but I don't know if I would be completely wrong with that. It has like the government buildings, and it has like a lot of business feeling. Like, I don't actually know if there are big banks or something. Shinjuku is where you get drunk and into other people's pants. I mean, depends on which direction you go, I guess. If you go west, it's kind of like business. But I feel like in the northwest, it's like a business district. Like only directly around the station is it like a fun part. But maybe that's no longer called Shinjuku. That's probably another name. No, Ninja knows more about this than me. Like, I don't really care so much about these things. Ninja, please enlighten us. Where is the business part? I'm very good at theory. Good. Alright, I wanted to go... Oh, actually we need to buy some energy cells.
Firefly missile installed.
Let's go to Tharka's Sun.
Gate. Tharka's Sun.
These
A
enlightenments.
complex hub controls power distribution, central command.
Okay, we managed to get up to
and control,
25k energy cells. That's a
commodity
good starting
exchange,
sign.
And central docking ports of a large factory production facility.
If now we can keep up the influx, we might be onto something. Alright, there was another influx, well, 30k. Kabukicho is what you want for crazy stuff around Shinjuku. I know my way around there as I lived close enough for many years, but I avoided it. Sure, yeah. But which direction is Kabukicho? Isn't...
Entering system. Tharka's Sun.
No, I don't actually know. Anyway, these solar power plants, do they have something or are they completely planet? Oh, they have lots of things.
L Alpha.
Why isn't any one of my traders going here to buy energy cells? East. See? And I was talking about the west direction. I think there's like... Yeah, see, government and skyscrapers. That's what I said. But who owns these skyscrapers, Ninja? Do you know? What kind of skyscrapers are these? They're like these huge buildings, but I have actually no idea what they are used
The
for.
Split Dynasty honors your presence on board.
Connection to local trading network established.
You Kaladin owns them. Okay, Kaladin owns them. Okay. Following thing is happening. Depends on. Many are owned by corporations. Yeah. The biggest one is NTT. Oh, but that's like... Is NTT private corporation nowadays, or is it like a government-owned corporation? You bought them in the 90s, during the stagflation. You just came in and bought them. I mean, it depends on when in the 90s, because at the beginning of the 90s, I'm pretty sure land wasn't cheap.
Ore transferred. Ore transferred. Ore transferred. Ore transferred. Ore transferred.
But,
Ore transferred. Ore transferred. Ore transferred.
I need to focus on
transferred.
the following point that I want to make. We are looking at our ship list here. And our main ships are now the following. We have the Nako Waifu Mule Liftlix, which is a Terran TL. We have the Spook Katai, which is an M7 frigate, which is a Boron frigate. We have Gnuffle Hyperion Vanguard, which is a Paranit Heavy M6. We have the Game Over, which is an ATF boarding frigate. So I don't even know how to call it. It's not a carrier frigate. What would you call a ship that's only for like boarding other ships? Koshin is what you see for government owned. I'm going to assume this is Koshin. Kosha. Well, I almost had it. Koshai? Koshal? What? No, Kosha. Well, you're disappointed in me. Actually, I've been learning so many kanjis recently, I forgot all of the easy kanjis. So I instantly remembered that this is the kanji that is in Jinja. But then I didn't remember which side it was, so I had to guess whether it was the Shin or the Sha. So I went for the Koshin. I don't have an immigration officer, luckily. Not yet. Because I'm still like on a special visa, so... yeah. I did not have to deal with them at all while I'm in Japan yet. I didn't have to go to the foreigner's office once. I think I'm lucky. I don't even know. Alright, but anyway, I was making a list of races before I got interrupted by kanji. Kosha. Yeah, this is easy because it's also in Kaisha, but I blanked. I'm very sorry. Now, which races are we not following? And then we have the Saint Kaladin needs a special character. Kaladin, do we have a favorite special character? Like, I literally mean on the keyboard, a special character. Because we need to give you some special character in the name to make sure you're somewhere meaningful in the list. Lucky you, I look forward to handing in paperwork next year for permanent residence so that I do not have to deal with them again. Actually, I looked into it and I could maybe get permanent residence, but I actually looked into it. It doesn't look like it would be good for me. Like, I don't see an advantage because apparently it would be worse for my taxes for some reason, which is a bit silly. Okay, Kaladin is no longer here. Somebody else wants to guess what is Kaladin's favorite special character. Actually, I do not know if we can put kanji here. No, it does not seem so. I changed my keyboard, but... Oh god, no. That does not seem to work. ASCII. Can I enter ASCII? I don't know. No, it does not seem to be. ASCII codes are also not capable. Hey Kaladin, what's your favorite special character? Naruhodo? Naruhodo's not the character. How about a comma? Or like, how about this? Kaladin in angled brackets, huh? Or do you like curly brackets more? No, curly brackets feels more like a ninja thing. I think angled brackets, that looks nice for Kaladin. Where does that put you? Oh, that puts you here in the list. That's pretty good. Alright, so Kaladin is a split. So we have split. We have Otas/Argon. We have Paranit. We have Boron. We have Terran. Who's missing? Of course, we know who's missing. It's the Teladi. So I decided we should get a Teladi ship. Now, does anybody... I kind of want the missile frigate. But maybe there's another ship from Teladi that we definitely want. So we should have a quick look at the Teladi capital ships list. Can you elaborate in terms of how taxes would be worse? Oh, Ninjin. The only reason is capital gains tax. If you have stock that is held in non-Japanese accounts and you are a non-permanent resident, you do not pay capital gains tax as long as that money stays outside of Japan. Because it's basically treated as non-Japanese. Whereas for a permanent resident, any capital gains have to be taxed no matter where they are and what kind of account. And depending on your home country's rules, you might have stock, I don't know where you're from, like Sweden or something? Like you might have stocks in Sweden, still I don't know, but because you're a resident of Japan, you may not have to pay taxes in Sweden. And so that's like 20% on the capital gains, so yeah, that's not nothing. For example, Paradox stock, but you would need to hold it in a non-Japanese account, and I'm actually trying to really make this happen because yeah, this is the big difference for although don't quote me on that because I haven't used that yet, but that's what I learned. Yeah, there is nuance to it because that account that the capital gains goes to, it is not allowed to touch Japan. So even if there's something like you have like an account in Sweden and you also have taxes on that same bank and the gains, for example, get paid into your account. If you have a credit card and that is from your Swedish bank and you use that credit card in Japan, that would count as bringing the money to Japan. So you would have to pay, in principle, you would have to treat that money that you pay as having been gained from like the capital, the stocks in Sweden, and then pay extra taxes, and it would get really horrible. You always calculate on sale, usually, at least for all the countries that I knew. The profit you make when you sell the stocks is when they calculate the taxes. You don't have to pay unless you sell. And if you sell them with a loss, you also don't have to pay, but you also don't get anything. Like, you don't get 20% loss reduction from the government. It's just, it's asymmetric in that sense. Yay, we're talking taxes! Just don't sell? Yeah, but then what? But also, yeah, if you get dividends, you also have to pay. Like any gains, when it becomes money, basically. PwC has effed up their website even further. Great. Is that the tax authority? Because, yeah, Japanese tax law, hooray. I do not get dividends, and I'm actually not interested in dividends, but I'm just telling you, Kaladin, in the case you need to know, because this is now a tax law stream. I invested in DDR Corp. Yeah, you shouldn't expect any returns on that anytime soon, I'm sure. You should invest in Austria. I hear there's gonna be some money influx soon from unknown sources. I have an LLC, so I can get dividends. But you have a limited liability corporation? Why would you need an LLC to get dividends? That doesn't... I hear he's doing an aggressive acquisition over there. Well, I don't know about that yet. But it seems he's having fun. That's fine. Ninjin is a tycoon, yeah. Ninjin is a tycoon. Alright, what do we have in terms of Teladi ships here? We have, of course, M2s and M1s.
The Condor is the Phoenix is the destroyer ship operated by the Condor is the carrier ship of the Teladi Company's space fleet.
Wait, the Condor only has 35 ship hangar? That is kind of pathetic. That is kind of pathetic for an M1.
The Teladi Gannet adds a heavy strike capability to the Teladi Company's fleet, with a considerable array of offensive options.
He must be a secret Zaibatsu owner with limited liability. With limited liability Zaibatsu family head. Alright. I want oh, there was a Shrike. I just saw you. Don't you think I didn't see you? I swear a Shrike just disappeared here. Ah, there it is.
In a bid to catch up with
But we are interested in Gannets.
Teladi Gannet.
And we want to know if there's a Teladi Gannet somewhere undefended. In a vulnerable position. Tax summaries, individual residence. This is the tricky part. Yeah, Ninja, but I'm in no position to click through this. So give me the download. What is the difficult part? The website has become worse? The law has become worse? Or it has always been difficult? This is about becoming a permanent resident? I don't know what that website is, and I kind of don't want to click on it. Didn't you notice all the trains becoming 2 lengths last week? Oh no! By the way, that wasn't Ninjin. That was like I want to take credit for that one. Like I said mini trains, and when in the thing campaign, just out of joke, and somebody else kept repeating it in chat. And was like, yeah, mini trains. I don't even remember who. And then he actually did hit the madman. That was funny. Also, close down X3 and make this a text stream. Oh, it was Ninja. Yeah! And later, I watched the VOD. And later, Jake asked something like, what should we name it? Or I don't even remember what he asked. And I was already in bed. And then you framed me for like, did Alpha go to bed even though he suggested this? Or something like that. I remember that. You like framed me. It was like 3 AM. And you were like still watching Jake build horrible 2-length trains in OTTD. And then you blame me for not staying up until then. Ah, good times. Good times.
Ron Cars, Clouds.
How can you call it framing when it is something good? Okay, well, no, in that situation it made me sound like weak. Oh, there's a Gannet. There's an isolated Gannet in Blue Prophet. Let's go over Blue Prophet. Let's have a look at that Gannet and how isolated it looks. We're gonna scan it. We're gonna take a look at what's inside. And if we really like what we see... Ooh, it doesn't seem to have any escort. Oh, does this count as an escort? It does count as an escort.
Military buzzer. Teladi military Gannet.
Alright, who looks at this Gannet and thinks, boy, this is beautiful? Actually, I have to admit, for a Teladi ship, yeah, with this big caveat, for a Teladi ship, this doesn't look bad. This is one of the better, definitely one of the better looking Teladi ships. Also, oh, don't ram it. Let's not ram it. Let's not ram it. So yeah, this on the side here, this is us. It's Hyperion Vanguard. Hyperion Vanguard looks really cool. It almost looks like a functional Teladi design. Yeah, how can we not get ourselves the only functional Teladi design? What do we have? We have some shields, we have advanced, we have no marines, we have advanced firewalls, we have jump drives, PACs, Iron Shot railguns, Iron Pulse, frag bomb, energy bolt chain gun is gonna be annoying. Yeah, I think this guy is ripe for the taking. Now, our personnel is ready for the go. We are going to jump in the Spook Katai. And we are going to make this happen.
Command accepted.
Oh, I hope they aren't waiting for other friends. Wait, where are you going? Don't go back. Don't you dare go... 110 flails. Shh, Knuffle. Let's ignore the 110 flails. Be careful, Alpha. You upset your Zaibatsu overlords. You might wake up to find all the public transportation in your district has been stopped. With limited liability. I didn't know it worked that way. Okay, Blue Prophet.
Command accepted.
Okay. I actually need to change the ship. This isn't good, you know? The fact that he's going there already isn't good. Because I need a very special person. I need Nikki. No, I pressed the wrong button.
Command accepted.
Oh, I think he wants to go back out. But I don't want him to go back out, so... Next, we're gonna switch into Nikki.
Skiron. Teladi, the Teladi Gannet.
Oh, but this thing has 5 gigajoule shields. Can we even get through 5 gigajoule shields? It could take a while. Wait, did I jump in the Spook Katai? I'm an idiot. We don't need the Spook Katai.
Teladi, military.
Spook Katai is just gonna get flattened. Spook Katai, jump out.
Thresher.
Just go somewhere else, Spook Katai.
Command accepted.
It's not about the shields, it's about the recharge rate. Well, also getting through the shields is gonna take forever, so...
Telad, the Teladi Gannet adds a heavy strike capability
Recharge rate
to the Teladi
is
company's
8
fleet.
gigajoule. I think that is also more than Kaladin has.
The Panther is the result.
Yeah, Kaladin has 6.2, so this is definitely worse. I'm not sure if you're right about capital gains, Alpha, but promise to keep me posted and I promise to do the same. Well, I looked it up once, and this seemed to be, like, ouch! Some idiot. What?
Sun oil refinery.
Somebody rammed me here. $5 megajoule a second on the Gannet. There's also the additional fun if you have a tax agreement between Japan and the other country. Yeah. But, so, for me it doesn't matter. Because my home country is Germany. And if you are a non-resident of Germany, you are not taxed for capital gains. Period. So I would tax them according to German law, which would be 0. And Japan doesn't require me to put any additional tax on top as long as I'm not a permanent resident. Makes sense? Alright, we need the game over here, actually. Jump to sector and fly to position. Fly somewhere here.
Command accepted.
Alright, now the question is, how do we deal with this ship? Or can we even deal with this ship? Well, we'll have to find it out. I don't like safe scumming, but boarding is hard enough, so we're just gonna do it. Alright, we're making the first save here. Actually, I'm gonna make 2 saves, so that I don't accidentally oversave the save. And we are going to accidentally aggro this person.
Military Gannett.
Accidentally. Very accidentally. Oh, this is not what I wanted. There's someone too much here. You shouldn't be in group 4.
Taladi Command assumes that was an accident.
Oh yeah, keep assuming it was an accident. Oh, we might try to find like a blind spot.
You are identified as an enemy of the Taladi.
Okay.
Surrender or we will destroy your ship.
Okay, this is a problem because everybody's not aggro.
Taladi okay. Drink lost Taladi. Confirm command.
Okay. I wanted to apologize to all of the escorts, but it didn't work because there were way too many escorts. Oh, what is that? Is that an explosion? Strategy master. Well. So this is why I wanted a solo ship. This is why we went for Kaladin last week, because Kaladin was all alone. There was nobody defending Kaladin. Kaladin had no friends, no strategy. It was just a single ship. Time for a series of accidental M7 versus M3 crashes. We could try to crash them all dead.
Taladi Military Kia.
Although
Though they first turned up.
not impossible. It's not. It's certainly not impossible. But there are a lot of them. And the problems aren't actually the M3s. The problems are these guys.
Taladi Escort Peregrine.
The Peregrines. The Bombers. Okay, let's...
Hyperion.
Okay, but we could try
Vanguard.
it.
Command accepted.
Let's try to accidentally bump into some of them. Knock out the side ships.
Taladi Military Gannett.
This guy, is he scanned? Yeah, he's scanned. Yeah, for example, this Peregrine
Taladi Escort Peregrine.
is a problem. So we're just gonna remove that problem from the equation. What's our rank? 5% director. .4% director now. Oh, HPT.
Plasma thrower.
Oh, this was a good loot. An HPT is like worth like what? 200,000? 140,000, but still. Right, Rhombi, how are you looking?
Controls power
Oh, Rhombi is down to 5,000 energy cells again. I don't like that. Gee, what an awful accident. Whoopsie! Yeah. A resident taxpayer who is not a Japanese national who has an accurate stay in Japan of 5 years or less in the preceding 10 years. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, that seems to be the clause I'm talking about. A non-permanent resident taxpayer. Yeah. I bet. Would be a shame if the entire bomber squad was suddenly gone. Yeah, but we also need to worry about the fact that they might respawn them. Also, oh no, are you going back? Why are you going back towards the gate? Don't go back. Well, you're only non-permanent if you are not a permanent resident, so...
Cargo bay now contains energy cells.
Alright. Do we have anything else here?
Teladi military buzzard.
I missed
Teladi
them.
military buzzard.
You should talk to a tax lawyer briefly. Yeah, probably.
Teladi escort peregrine.
Alright, I want to get rid of the peregrines. The bombers are the nasty ones.
Gate Seo's sprite.
Oh yeah, UK is a bad place. So don't be a UK.
Teladi military
Don't be a Yuki.
Kia.
Don't be a Yuki, basically.
You have lost recognition.
Oh no, what is up with our recognition?
Teladi, ask if you realize who you are shooting at.
I'm not shooting at anybody, come on. I don't know who said I'm shooting at anyone. I don't remember shooting at anyone, certainly. Alright, next. Do we need to knock out anybody else? There's still some M3s here.
Teladi military Falcon Vanguard.
Falcon Vanguard. I need to regenerate some shield, actually. Also, I need to block him so that he can't go in. I need to just confuse his AI. Don't go towards the gate, my friend. You're one of those news stories when an old blind lady tries to drive her car through a school zone. I am glad I have never heard of these news stories. But no M2. Yeah, Rhombi, did you listen? You need to make our money back first before you get to have an M2.
Controls power distribution.
You need to make our money back.
A complex hub controls power distribution. Central.
Oh,
command.
somebody sold the Hammer Heavy torpedoes. I wish I was a cool ship. There's always chances to become a cooler ship. It's not like you can't switch.
NMMC escort Falcon Vanguard.
Okay, I'm gonna ram probably the M3.
Teladi military Falcon Sentinel.
Oh, what? I call foul! I was on 70% shield. No, you not be the Knuffle. The Knuffle is already named. The Knuffle is already named. Actually, you know what? You can keep it. Oh no. Now that you saw what happened. Yeah, that was the perfect timing to demand to be the Knuffle. Ah. Now I did. Yeah, this is a bit annoying.
Syracuse Hyperion Vanguard.
If only there was like a Yaki military frigate, or missile frigate or something, then we could use that. Yeah.
Syracuse, Hyperion, Vanguard.
I would give more money, but you don't give me enough energy cells. Hey, look!
Complex hub
Oh,
controls
you're up in
power
energy cells again. I feel like we're like supplying 80% of the energy cells that you need. Not quite all of them. We might need no energy cells anymore. I don't even know what energy cells... Energy cells are pretty ugly, I think.
A com-
Energy cells. Look on the top right. This is the energy cell symbol. Like, what is this?
You can specify at which price the freighters working for this factory should buy resources.
That's not like even... That's not even like... I wouldn't recognize this as an energy cell. If you showed me that picture, I would be like, yeah, what is this? This looks like a tube.
Teladi, Escort, Peregrine.
Alright, we need to knock out the Peregrines. I missed the other one. A controlled explosion of matter and antimatter. No, you're thinking of the matter-antimatter
Teladi,
warhead.
Military, Falcon.
Oh, this guy has 200 megajoule shields. That's why he was so juicy.
Teladi, Escort, Peregrine. Cargo bay now contains energy cells.
Great, I'm getting free energy cells. Some sort of emote for crashing into ships would work nicely. That is a great idea, but how would
military, Buzzer, Teladi, Escort, Peregrine.
it would need to be an animated slot where like two ships crash and then it comes like an oops or something. Oh god, that's such a good idea, but I'm not that good at crafting emotes, but I like that idea. Okay. There's some perfect comedic timing between the screaming and then the cargo bay. Okay, yeah, I can see that. Some people are monsters and find that entertaining. Okay, can we ram this Kia without dying? Kia is like an M3 Plus, but... Oh, I missed it. Well, we can't... we can't if I miss it. Well, at least we didn't explode, but we also didn't ram anything. Anything else that I can take over? Are you the big boy? Oh yeah, you're the Vanguard.
Military.
Okay, you're just a small one.
You have lost Teladi, Military, Buzzard.
I'm a venture capitalist now. No, wait. I am a permanent resident in terms of taxes because I have a total of 5 years in Japan. Yeah, I wanted to ask you whether you're actually under 5 years. So, yeah. You're a permanent tax resident without being a permanent resident. Congratulations. You're objectively...
Teladi, Military, Falcon, Sentinel.
Objectively in the worst category you can be. When it comes to your combination of tax and resident status.
Buzzard, Sentinel.
All the taxes, not all of the... like, all of the responsibilities, not all of the rights.
Teladi, Military, Buzzard.
You know what? This is so cheap in rank. We might just get them all. You might try to... What? There are Americans who are claiming they're a boat? Oh, what? Let's not ram this big boy. Let's not ram this big boy. If I would have returned 3 weeks later in terms of the pandemic in 2020, I would not have been. You mean because you would have been stuck outside of Japan? Or something?
Teladi, Recon, Harrier, Vanguard.
Alright.
Teladi, Military, Falcon, Sentinel, Teladi, Military, Kia.
There's a Falcon Vanguard.
Teladi, Military, Buzzard, Vanguard.
Yeah, so we have 4 military ships left. This is one Buzzard. We're gonna just knock out the Buzzard. And I think we're not gonna bother with the M3s. I'm just gonna tell them that I'm a good boy. Actually, look at all the energy cells that were dropped. And look at that, 64 Tomahawk missiles.
This heavy missile.
Ooh, do we have the space for that? We kinda do. But 64 Tomahawk missiles is a lot of money. How much money is that?
This missile was specifically designed for use.
That's 1.2 million. No, because I left Japan for the UK in late March 2015, then returned mid-March 2020. Ah, because you left in March, late March, and you came back in mid-March. No, I don't think that would have mattered, because it only matters, like...
Cargo bay now contains Tomahawk heavy missile.
Or the people who are nutcases about the Magna Carta.
Huron.
They think it makes them immune to laws. To be declared a boat? They pretend to be a boat? Anyway, we're gonna switch to Nikki, we're gonna safety save again. And we're gonna try our luck again with being a bad boy. But isn't the law based on only on how many years you've spent, like how many years total? Like out of the last 10 years, how many of them were you in Japan? And
Teladi, Military, Gannett.
oh, I guess you would have more than a 5-year gap in that. I see. So because you already have the full time, like you came to Japan earlier than 2012 or something like that. Oh well. (2009). Oy. Also, Rhombi is out of energy cells again.
Controls power distribution, central command, and control.
I don't think this is working out. But that would mean we would need another
large factory production,
like 30 million or something to furnish Rhombi with even more stuff. Anyway, we are going to try to be a friendly... My hands? Huh? Acceleration is not the best thing in this ship. Let's try our luck. Let's try our luck once more into the fray. See, I told you, I just don't have enough energy cells. Yeah, you kind of told me, but also, you didn't make them the money to give you more solar power plants, so I'm kind of like, where am I supposed to get the money to give you more solar power plants if you don't make any money? Actually, you have a good amount of money. You have 6 PPCs, that's another 6 million.
central command.
You're just not selling them for some reason. Also, you're overflowing on mosquito missiles. Alright, here goes nothing once again. Ah, no, I need to remove you. I hope that there's a blind spot.
Command assumes that was an accident. Now you feel my anger.
Alright, when he gets angry, I need to instantly tell all of the other people that it was a mistake.
You are identified as an enemy of the Teladi. Teladi, affirmative!
This is not nice.
We will come. Teladi will not.
Alert.
Okay, so they do not believe me when I tell them. They're also cooking me alive.
Video enhancement gone. Alert.
Okay, I cannot just tell them Hey, we're just Jake, just kidding. Okay, we need to ram them all. We can't leave any survivors. He's keeping the PPCs for his own personal fleet. Oh no, Rhombi is secretly building a fleet. Alpha, they do not believe me when I tell them lies. No, it's not lies. It's not a lie when I tell the other guys like, oh, I know, I don't want to attack you. A lot of years in Japan. Yeah, Ninjin is a Japanophile. A big Japanophile. Alright. We need our good friend Knuffle once more.
Vanguard.
Sorry, I accidentally shot at you for a solid minute on full power. You see, I wasn't pretending to the Gannet. I wasn't saying to the Gannet, oh, sorry, it was an accident. No. I was only telling that to the other guy, like to his escorts. You clearly have not met me yet. I clearly have not met you yet, no. But I am in Saitama next Monday. And I will repeat that. Several times. Although it's already getting... Why does the evening always like instantly disappear when I turn up this game? I feel like, oh, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that, and then...
Sentinel.
I get like one thing done per stream, and that's it.
Controls power distribution.
And the one thing I got done that wasn't even enough. Rhombi still isn't fixed. Science cannot fix Rhombi, it seems. Okay, anyway, also, aren't you dying often? What's up with that? Yeah, Dying too often, yeah. Ah, damn it! I missed the Sentinel. I actually don't know which direction will give me less damage, because from some angles you take more damage, and from some angles they take more damage. This thing is hard to hit, they are so thin. I can technically bike to Saitama University. I don't know, we could have a coffee, even though I don't drink coffee. But there isn't anything there. It's not like it's amazingly interesting at Saitama University, I think.
Out of order.
Okay, let's aim for the crown jewels. Okay. That's one of them down. Can't you bike anywhere you want? I don't think this was... I did not know it existed until you mentioned today. Okay, wow, that is the level of
Teladi, high-tech transporter. Teladi,
fame
military
of Saitama
Falcon,
University
Sentinel.
that someone who lives in Saitama. Saitama is also a ghetto. Now you're just lying, Kaladin. How can it also be a ghetto? Ooh, hammerhead missiles aren't bad.
Hammerhead missile.
That's like a famously difficult to acquire missile.
The hammerhead.
How do these Teladi have hammerhead missiles? Japan has a gorillion universities. So AI Professor and Alpha meet and stream OTTD. I don't think I'll be bringing my streaming setup. Also, Ninjin would be angry at me because I'm using
Now contains hammerhead
Windows
missile.
subsystem for Linux when I want to use Linux. Oh, I think Ninja would cook me alive. Ninjin is an AI. Also, Dasaitama is actually an expression. Yeah, you said that before. But I don't get the joke. Like, what is the word based on? Dasai or something? I've never heard anybody say Dasai. No. AI, not Gaijin. AI.
Teladi military
Hontoni
Falcon
gaijin desu.
Vanguard.
Hontoni gaijin desu.
The
I'm a bit
Teladi-
worried. This guy has 200 megajoule shields, so Dasai is uncool. Yeah, but it must be a really uncool world for uncool, because I've never heard anybody use it. And you've told me this, like, name, Dasaitama, like, I don't know, months ago. And I've been, like, constantly listening if I hear anybody use that word Dasai, and I just nobody I know uses that word.
We lose all.
We lose all.
Skin
Okay.
on.
Oh, I talked to him, but he was the guy who had like the breakup, like the breaking of comms, like and then makes like a clicking weird sound at the end. I always liked that. Anyway,
Teladi
we're gonna
military
save
Vanguard.
again. The size mainly used by cool girls, or at least it used to be. Ah, I see. Well, I'm not talking to a lot of girls. That's explaining it. Ninjin, work gave me an Apple phone. The only login options are face scanning and keypad. You mean with keypad? You mean like thumb scanning, or what is keypad? I'm not a Todaise. Ninjin, I never was a Todaise. I never was a Todaise. Okay, so we are back in position. Why am I not talking to girls? It's just hygiene. Like a passcode, Alpha, goodness sake. No, I actually don't know keypads. Oh, you have to like... But don't you have to create the keypad somewhere? I don't even remember. Ouch. Oh, now I lost shield. I didn't want to lose that shield. Oh, well, he also lost shield, so I guess it's a win-win. Alright, we're gonna remove this guy. And we're gonna try our evil plan again. True, Todaise have more social credit than the poor postdoc slaves. Indeed. Because they're Japanese and Gaijin don't have any social credit at all. Alright, we're gonna pretend this is an accident. Girls have great hygiene, Alpha. Mm-hmm.
Teladi Command assumes that was an accident. Now you feel my anger.
Alright, let's see if we can survive this time. Now, I'm very worried about flail barrages.
Enemy of the Teladi. Surrender or we will destroy your ship.
Okay, something's shooting at me. Okay, this seems a better spot. Some of them do. Well, yes, some of them. But also, if I look at my students in the engineering department, I feel like it doesn't really show that they're supposedly like this hyper elite thing. I feel like the people who really rake in the credit are like the people from like, I don't know, the more politics. Oh, he was trying to shoot us with a missile. Luckily we instantly shot it down, I think, but worrying. You're opposed to phones, not smartphones, just phones. So you're okay with a tablet that doesn't have a phone function?
Incoming message.
Because I'm the opposite. I'm like opposed to mobile internet devices more like. I don't like that. But phones are fine. The concept of a phone disgusts Ninja. Oh yeah, we're learning. But oh, look at this. Things are looking good here actually. I hope you're not actually like killing our other ships. No, you're not. By the way, Knaffel, great idea with just ramming everybody. That was a great idea. An unfortunate series of accidents.
Missile closing.
I sure hope we have some counter barrage fire for that missile. Ouch. Well, we were fine. Okay. Minimal, mobile, hackable. Great tagline. Modern technology that puts technology in control rather than the user. Yes. The counter barrage was your face? Hey, what did I earn that with? Alright, we are actually taking down this Gannet. I am positively surprised. Now it's wiggling a bit too much for my taste. Hey, that can be fixed later.
Alert. Missile closing.
Okay. I just shot down that missile. I'm also going to try and rip out the innards of this ship. Here we're going to regenerate a little bit of our energy. Also, this thing is just going slow and fast and slow and fast. Oh, it's being really annoying. Now it's going fast again. I don't know where we're going. Okay. Ow. What? Excuse me?
Lost recognition.
How did we kill it when I accidentally touched it? We are a tiny ship. We have to redo this.
Represents a significant
I guess we do
step
have
forward.
1 gigajoule of shield. I did not...
Jump device charging.
No, that is not what I wanted.
10%.
Alright, safe scumming, safe scumming. No, the recognition one isn't even the annoying one. The annoying one would be the setup. We can easily grind recognition very quickly. Like... Boops. Yeah, oopsie again. Alpha used tackle, the ship fainted. Yeah, it did indeed faint. I'm very sorry. We'll have to do that again.
Technology Command assumes that was an accident.
So what of the Kaladin? What did you do with that? Oh yeah, Kaladin. Kaladin is right there.
Now you feel my anger.
Selling Kaladin is morally wrong.
As an enemy of the Talati. Surrender or we will destroy your ship.
Yeah, but we could... If we sell Kaladin, we would get a good bit towards getting a Rhombi. That is true. But we're not gonna do that because Rhombi has to earn himself. The Rhombi washing machine will keep on tumbling until we can afford a Rhombi. A talking potato saying, "Now you will feel my anger," is the least intimidating threat of... Hey, they're lizard people, they're not potatoes. Unless you mean the gannet, but I don't think you mean the gannet. Is a gannet a type of potato? No, surely not. Also, where's my counter rockets? Counter rockets. Maybe I should keep a bit more distance. It's a burp. Ouch. Luckily we have pretty beefy shields. German men excited at the prospect of selling brown... Whoa. Oh, actually... Did Germans sell a lot of brown Americans? Because I feel like... they weren't very big on selling brown Americans. Like... It's the one thing Germany kinda missed out on. Because... yeah, the offshore... yeah, German origin slave owners. Oh, I'm sure they were a majority. I'm sure. Absolutely. And... if it's a story that's playing out in the Wild West, then yeah. Oh, they mostly killed people though, right? It's not like they sold them home. Because I think... actually I don't know, this is a good question. By the time Germany officially took colonies in Africa, what was the status of slavery? The official status of slavery in Germany? I would think it was already outlawed. But I don't know. This seems like a good discussion to have on Twitch. You know, Rhombi, we have all kinds of discussions on Twitch. So, yeah. This is a good discussion. Nice of you to point that out. Slavery was outlawed, but forced labor... yeah, but it was like... oh, okay, there was another rocket, sorry. But I don't actually know the details so much, because I know mostly... the big thing was mostly the... or at least the big thing everybody talks about is the genocide. Not so much the forced labor slavery. Like the oppression and the genocide kind of dominated discourse about... Herero land. What's special about the ship you're trying to take over? It is a missile frigate, which means it shoots... there are 2 missiles in the game that can only be shot by this class of ship system. Like, the arguably... the strongest class of missiles can only be shot by specialized M7 missile frigates. Okay, now I need to be careful that I don't accidentally ram this thing. Genius German move there. Have this major event in 1933 to 45 that makes everything else in history related to Germany look fairly minor. No, I didn't mean the genocide during World War II. I mean the genocide on the Herero in German East Africa. And that was like 1900s or 1890s, like second half of the 19th century, early 20th century. Of course, forced labor was part of the genocide, but I'd say it's wrong to characterize that as mainly forced labor over mainly genocide, because I don't know. Maybe that is wrong. Maybe... but I'm not gonna make the call on Twitch that the genocide narrative is overbeaten and that the forced labor narrative is more important. Let's shimmy back to the middle. Oh, I had 100% energy already. Oh, target is slowing down, target is speeding up. This is a lot harder to follow because at least the Caladan was kind of like consistent in the speed. This thing is not. Okay, we're gonna strip.
Alert. Missile closing.
Okay. Oh, you bastard. You just... I wanted to strip you and you just blasted yourself with your own rockets. Your hull is down to 74%. Disgusting. Our house is still made of paper. Kind of, yeah.
Energy low.
Kind of, yeah. I wouldn't say they are super well insulated. But it depends. I think in Hokkaido the houses aren't actually that bad. At least I would assume. When was my place? Oh, my place is newly built. But I haven't moved in here this year, so I haven't had a winter in here, so I can't really say yet if it's well insulated or not. Like, I haven't really felt it in winter. You bastard, I wanted to strip you, but you blast yourself. You're putting things out of context, Kaladin. This quote sounds very different out of context. Right. Let's have a quick look.
Vitality Gannett.
Nothing in the laser base right now. Ooh, that is nice. That is nice. Okay, so. I'm very worried it's going to ram me, because it's gonna do some stupid thing. So, I need the...
Hyperion,
Game
zero
over.
close.
Okay, no, I need to target this...
Teleport,
Cluster.
Oh,
Teladi, military, Ganet, alert, missile closing.
this is not what I need you to do right now, but okay. Game over. Piracy, board ship, everyone go.
Command accepted.
And we need to... We need to keep the shields low now. We need to keep the shields low.
Beginning to open hull.
We're on the target. I don't know if everybody made it. I'll check in a second.
Team, check your weapons. Prepare for assault. Begin pressurization. Now.
Okay, we're inside. I'm gonna disengage. How many persons did it? Okay, Marines on board 21. We can now watch it. Deck 1 clear. We're 1 through. 1 out of 5. Destroy this hatch. Onwards. Onwards. Okay, we're inside. No, no, no. After. Okay, we're inside. Alpha stripping. Deck 2 clear. So move on, move backwards. I don't even know what we're hearing. I think we're hearing a split. This is like a split. Some split. I bet it's Putin who's leading the charge. Of course it would be Putin, right? Okay, deck 3 clear. Smoke away. Fire at the enemy. Actually, there shouldn't be any enemies in there, so I'm a bit worried. Deck 4 clear. Hacking the core. Hacking the core. We should have perfect hackers. We should have perfect hackers. So we have some people who have 100 hackers. Alright!
We have system access. Transferring ship control.
Transferring ship control.
Is ours.
The ship is ours. Victory. There we go. Why is there car cluster?
Hyperion, Vanguard.
Alright, there are some... There's one Marine that's in space.
Terran, spacesuit. This technologically advanced spacesuit.
Aaron Slammer is in space. Woohoo! Yeah, we won. We're also gonna save. On that note. Woohoo! Yeah. And Commissar Kitty wanted to be a better ship. Tomorrow stream title, we got the wrong ship. Well, honestly, this is not initially the one I wanted, but it's the one we got. So, hey. This looked the most feasible today, and I didn't want to spend another 10 hours looking for a better target. Alright, see you, Ninjin. I mean, the stream isn't gonna go for much longer. I feel like this is almost like a good note to end on. And the Rhombi is still suffering. Alright, we're gonna pick up our Marine, because I don't want our Marine to just be in space here. Mr. Marine, where are you? I'm too fast. Mr. Marine, let me pick you up.
Cargo bay now contains Marine. Solar
Alright.
power plant M Beta. Syracuse.
Oh, that's the Syracuse. Syracuse, you can actually already go home.
Docking granted. Command accepted.
I thought the most OP ship was the Xenon ship with silly stats. This is... What? But this is not the most overpowered ship in the game.
Gannett.
This is... I wouldn't say this is the most overpowered ship in the game. Knuffle, the most overpowered ship in the game is the Terran missile ship. It is the Scanner. This ship is just pretty overpowered, I think. Although I've never used it, so... Yeah, but we need a name for the Gannett. Every M7 is the most overpowered ship? Okay. We still need a name for the Gannett. Doesn't have any docking ports, right? Yeah, it doesn't. No.
Hyperion. Vanguard.
Alright, Knuffle, follow me.
Command accepted.
The Catnip? Okay. It's gonna be the Catnip.
Gannett.
Catnip. Some special characters? Some special characters? Because I want to put some special characters in, like Racket or I don't know. I don't know. Can even. Oh, how do you make a cat? Like, how do we make a cat? Oh, I remember. I used to remember how to make a cat. Don't you make something like this? And then we make like. No, how do I make a cat? Yeah, you know, like exclamation marks. Oh, wasn't it like? We used to do something like this. Oh, yeah. And then like... it's coming all back. It's coming all back. Alright, that's a beautiful name. Well, because, you see, this list of ships here. This list of ships is ordered by alphabet. But I want, like, this list has a lot of ships in here that I don't need to look at very often, right? It has like ship people, some miners. Speaking of miners, we should empty them out. And some other stuff. So I want all of my like really important ships, like my main battle fleet, basically. I want them to have like some special character at the beginning of the name, so that they start at the beginning of the list, so that I can all see them at the top. I mean, otherwise we could also alternatively all have them start with an A or a number or something, but that's just boring. So we're running with special characters. So yeah, so for example, Kaladin is like in brackets, and Nikki has a dot, and Game Over has a hashtag, Knuffle has an exclamation mark, Spookcutter has a double exclamation mark actually. Anyway, speaking of Knuffle,
Hyperion, Vanguard.
Switch. Yeah, I think Nikki, you can also go. Where are we gonna park Nikki? I don't know. But Nikki, you did a good job this time. This time, actually, pretty well done. I must say, this went way better than I expected. I did not expect us to so easily get a ship. Alright, we're gonna give this Gannett a jump drive.
Jump drive transferred.
And we have our own little... and you need some energy cells. Let's give you 1000 energy cells.
Energy cells transferred. Scannet.
Right. Alright, now I want you to dock somewhere. Well, first we need to repair you. Ideally, I want a repair station that is very close to a gate. Yeah, let's first go to Paranid Prime. Jump, this is a safe place. And yeah. Ooh, Commander, I don't feel so good. Yeah, we're gonna repair you as well. Oh, by the way, do you have anything? Oh, you have a cargo life support system. That's actually good.
No.
Okay, you're jumping out. And you have 400... Okay, our loot that we got for this is 400 energy bolt chain gun ammunition. Hooray to us.
A complex hub.
Oh, and Rhombi has
controls
some energy
power
cells again.
distribution, central command and control, commodity exchange. and
Somebody
central
needs to start selling these
of a large
PPCs.
Factory production.
Also, I should kill these Ks.
Scout.
They're just gonna be a problem for the whole sector.
Plasma burst generator. 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 Plasma burst generator.
You know
Plasma burst generator.
I'm really missing the
Install.
cooking.
Plasma burst generator.
So let's have some cooking.
Install.
Rhombi hoarding like a dwarf with gold. I wish
A complex
Rhombi would
hub
sell those
controls
photon pulse
power
cannons.
distribution, central command and control.
You know, I
Commodity
haven't played
exchange,
Dwarf
central
Fortress in many
docking
years, and I always feel like, oh, I'm just gonna get back to it soon. But now I realize that it has been at least 7 years that I haven't played Dwarf Fortress, like myself. I've watched some streams, like I've watched some Euristo streams. That's the only streams I've seen anybody play of Dwarf Fortress, I think. Wait for the stream release, maybe? You know, I'm gonna look into where the money goes. But I might just buy it just to give him money. I did donate actually to Dwarf Fortress many years ago. That's like basically the only early access kind of thing. And I don't feel bad about it. So the Steam release will come any day now. Yeah. Oh, I need some targeting.
Target is now in firing range.
Well, Kai, you wanna get cooked?
On behalf of Chairman CEO, the Talati Company are grateful for your
Okay, they don't
timely
even
help
care.
in saving of much profit.
Okay, now they finally care. Oh, I can't cook them when they're inside.
Firing range.
They're inside like allied ships. So I'm gonna cook the allies as well.
Firing range. No enemy.
Alright, we're gonna take out more clusters because the clusters are annoying. They're gonna make a mess over here. We don't want them. Any day now. Time is still subjective. Time is always subjective. Okay. Also, Catnip, please dock at the shipyard
Docking
first.
granted.
I don't know how much repairing will cost you. Might cost a bit. Because you blasted yourself. I hate Kach. They're worse. I think they're a good enemy design. Alright, cooking.
Chairman CEO, the Talati Company are grateful for your timely help in the saving of much profit.
cluster.
And that's why killing Kach clusters is so satisfying. Oh, the Talati really don't like us right now. We're at 66% venture capitalist. In X4, they won't stop spawning bases near me and then blowing up all my mining. Oh, I didn't know they're still building bases in X4. The patrolling AI doesn't care. Oh, that sucks.
A complex hub controls power distribution, central command, control.
You know what else sucks?
commodity
Rhombi not
exchange,
selling this
and
stuff.
central docking ports of a large factory production facility.
Come on, Rhombi. You have like 5.5 or 5.6 million in photon pulse cannons lying around there. Oh, speaking of it, does the Xenon Hub still have money? It does. Good. Right, Chris Polar.
Training.
Ah, they just infinitely spawn them. Yeah, that doesn't sound fun. Wrangling with God. Oh, look, we can see these are different cluster types. Look at this. This is beautiful. You rarely see them so close together. I don't know. Couldn't we take screenshots somehow? Anyway, we're just blasting them now.
On behalf of Terran the Terran Company are grateful for your
Right.
timely help in the saving of much profit.
Also, they dropped their special rockets
Cargo bay now contains needle.
that cannot be found anywhere else.
Needle.
Oh, speaking of which, where did I send Nikki? Nikki, you have actually somebody on board. I need to send that person back. We saved profit indeed.
Cargo bay now contains needle.
We're gonna pick up the needles because these are like unobtainable any other way. And who knows if we'll ever need like, oh, we need 10 needles or something annoying like that. So I don't think so, but let's make sure we have them.
Cargo bay now contains needle.
Needle, needle, needle.
Falcon.
What? Your Falcon?
The Teladi Falcon fighter.
What is this Falcon? Selware. Okay, you don't have any name. You're the Falcon Heavy Torpedo Seller for Profits, I think. They drop parts that you can use to upgrade your ship's stats with an X4. Ah. I think in X Rebirth you have to loot those parts from the stations, but we're gonna get into X Rebirth when we get into X Rebirth. I will still hold back on my X Rebirth rant. I must hold back.
A complex hub controls power
I wonder if they're
distribution.
not willing to sell the PPC. Anyway, let's look at the catnip and how expensive it is to fix the catnip. Oh, it is very expensive to fix the catnip. That single self-blast the catnip did is gonna cost us like 10 million. Like that's one rocket, that one rocket there. Well, it's still cheaper than buying a full one, but I'm gonna have to siphon some money off places once again. So, for example, Duke's Complex, you have 4 million that I can take easily.
Funds
And Shareholders Fortune, you have 2 million I can take.
funds.
Rhombi, we're not gonna take anything from you because you are still supposed to make your own money. Think about all that fun time you'll have playing Rebirth to complain about. Yeah, I'm already looking forward to complaining about it. Alright, the catnip. Can we repair you now? Barely. It'll cost us 12.6 million to repair the catnip. But it's worth it, and we're doing it. So, next. Please dock at the equipment
Docking
dock.
granted. Command accepted.
We also need to get all of the people off of it, but everything in due time. Everything in due time. Can we buy more boarding pods? Of course not. Why would we? This is getting a problem, the lack of boarding pods that spawn in our regular station. Oh no, Rebirth is not nearly as deep. It's rather short if you just focus on the main story. No. Terran Conflict is really obscenely long when it just comes to playing the main story. Like, they really gave you really long missions. Like this, like the hub plot itself, right? I was not exaggerating in that stream when I ran into, what was it? Queen's Harbor? No, Queen's Retribution, sorry. Queen's Retribution, and Mahima started talking to us. And I said, oh no, right? I was not exaggerating. This mission is massive. Absolutely massive. And the Operation Final Fury, spoiler alert, it's not gonna be that short either. And I haven't even started. Usually you're supposed to start Operation Final Fury next. And you're supposed to just fight through it. I'm just still holding out on it because I made the stupid decision to only start it once we have extreme fighting rank. Dame dane, dame o, dame nano yo. I actually don't know the full line, but not that a lot of the words mean much. They're just filler words that change the mood of the sentence. Dame dane? Dame dane means something like, oh, it's useless, or... I don't actually know the full context why this song, like the writing of the other lines of the song. I never listened to it
Connection
that
to
closely.
local trading network established.
So, dame dane means like, it's forbidden, or it's... or it can't be done. Something like that. But it says it in kind of like, it sounds like melancholic. I mean, you hear the song is melancholic, but dame dane means like, it's it can't be helped, can it? Or something like that. So it could be a nagging question. So, or it could be like a, that's life. It could be like a c'est la vie. It could be like a shogunai. The song is pretty happy, don't know about you. Is the song that happy? Don't they sing about like several things going wrong? And then just saying, dame dame. Like, it can't be helped? I don't know. Shikata ga nai. Shikata ga nai. Shoganai. It's not janai, but it's ganai. Shikata ga nai. Speaking of shikata ga nai, the catnip. So, we want to upgrade you. Well, we're gonna buy everything that's here.
Special singularity in patrol navigation mineral rate scanner installed. Docking boost extension installed.
We need an ore collector on you. Not really. But tunings.
Engine to rudder optimization.
Oh, we cannot afford the cargo bay extension. That is a problem. There's a lot of cargo bay extensions we can fit on this thing. The only Japanese I know is learned from foreign students and code gears. Yeah, that's not the worst way to learn it. Okay, by the way, do you remember how the catnip looks?
Teladi military.
Let's have a look at the Phoenix. Isn't this a beautiful ship? Oh god, it looks so weird. Like, what are these things? Like, you should listen to Emperor Charles speak in Japanese. I'm sure it's great. Look at this here. It looks like a gun. If we're generous, it looks kind of like a gun. I guess this is like a finder. Yeah, you're right. It does look like a gun. I mean, I'd say it's rather ugly, but if somebody says, no, it looks like a gun, I think it's cool. Like, I'd not debate them, but I'd secretly think they're wrong. Yeah, the Split have way better gun designs. Okay, we can look at the Condor.
Sprite. Teladi Military Phoenix.
Oh no, this is the Phoenix. There's no Condor here.
Teladi Military Shrike.
Oh look, this is the other frigate. So we took the missile frigate. This is the other frigate. This is the Shrike. Now tell me that looks nice. Because I don't buy it. Even if you tell me this looks nice, I will not believe you. This looks like other R's. It also has like these huge long spikes at the end. I don't like it. Like, I'm not saying this is a bad model. Teladi ships are supposed to look like flying junkyards. Like several parts pieced together. And this is exactly how it looks. So, very thematic on the design. But also the theme is being ugly. So,
Gate CO Sprite.
so yeah. Right, where are we getting the money? Where are we getting more money? We have a Kaladin to equip, and we have a Catnip to equip. Actually, for the Catnip, we will need some 2 gigajoule shields.
Teladi Company's fleet with a considerable array of offensive options.
Speaking of which, I didn't remember this yet though, but aren't we producing like flail barrages here? Okay, am I collecting them? Ah yeah, you are actually collecting the flails. Okay, that's very good. That's very good. So I think next stream we will use our flail barrage ships. We'll just have to scrape together the money somewhere for the Catnip to be. Like, the Catnip is repaired now, but we want to upgrade the cargo bay, and we also need to buy it some shields. So that will be 3 million. And then probably some weapons.
Adds a heavy strike capability to
The
the
back
Teladi
turret.
Company's fleet.
Okay,
with
that's
a
easy.
considerable array of offensive options.
Might just add an iron shard railgun. Or an anti-bolt chain gun, actually. No, but it has energy, so iron shard railgun probably it is. Yeah, I'm actually about to close off this stream because we're gonna come back tomorrow with more. Probably we're gonna use the Catnip and go on a little bit of a killing spree, just because I want to test out how good is the missile frigates. How good are they? How good can we fight with them?
CO Sprite. This outpost serves as a remote operating base for military ships. Well-connected pilots can purchase.
Alright, and you want to sort out some anime first. You mean you're upscaling, or you just want to watch some anime? Man, I should watch more anime. That now that I'm in Japan, I'm actually trying to learn Japanese. Or I should read more manga. Where is the time? Where is the time?
Incoming message.
Well. Oh, Cheatkund is done. Read manga much better. Yeah, I agree, but yeah, it's not easy.
Training.
Watch Code Geass Season 1. Yeah, Code Geass is pretty great. But I don't know if I want to rewatch something right now.
Successfully docked.
On behalf of Chairman CEO, the Teladi Company are delighted for the opportunity to make great profits with such as you. Welcome on board.
Connection to
No.
local trading network established.
You can't. If you watch Code
Boarding
Geass,
pod. Bought.
you have to
Missile
find the
is not
GG fan
compatible with
subs.
your
That's
ship.
the only way to correctly watch Code Geass.
Advanced satellite.
And you
bought.
cannot argue with me on that. There isn't even a question there.
The 200 mega.
Just head to your local book off and pick up. Ninja, the problem isn't the price, you know? I can afford a normal tankobon at 384 yen. That's not a problem. Correction. You can't watch Code Geass in English. Yeah, you can't. It's illegal. It is illegal. That is true. And also, but seriously, all the funny captures you see of like funny subs of Code Geass are mostly the GG subs. I remember those were the good old days. Were they called GG subs? Am I making this up? I think they were called GG subs. Anyway, my old musings, and no other old person here to help me figure this out that actually watched those animes, shall leave me in a melancholic mood until we return tomorrow with more X3 Terran Conflict. So for now, yeah, this is me again saying good night. Oyasumi nasai. Have a good night.